The Heroes of Greyhawk is a game played by adults and recorded for an adult audience. Sometimes we use adult language and explore adult topics. Consider yourself warned.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Superior Adventures Guild. My name is Dave, your humble dungeon master and host for another thrilling, I hope, episode of Heroes of Greyhawk. Of course, the heroes that run this game and put me through my paces are the real pranksters, and let's meet those pranksters right now. Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Great to see you.
Heyo.
We're back.
What's up?
Everybody's dressed up and all fancy.
Whoop whoop. Everyone named Ashley.
Yep. And well, Andy has a shirt with buttons on it.
Buttons.
Yeah.
I have a shirt.
Yeah,
with
buttons. I
on.
guess that's something.
This is something we didn't know.
Ellie's got some kind of necklace. What are those candies?
Yeah, what is it?
Oh yeah, it's a nice.
Shiny.
Is it a charm necklace?
It's candy. I eat it.
How charming.
Very nice, Shelley.
Thanks.
As charming as you are, Shell. Hey, thanks for being here, everybody. Thanks to my players for coming back after, I would say, a pretty tense episode last time we played. So we're gonna get into all that stuff here in just a minute. But first of all, I would love for you, my friends, to reintroduce yourself to me, because I forgot who you are. Every time I'm like, who are these people that keep showing up every week? And let's start with the leopard.
What's up, me? Rawr.
Rawr.
Hey, everybody. I'm Ashley. You may know me as Minnesota Muse. I am Minnesota Muse on our Discord, Minnesota Muse on Blue Sky, and Minnesota Muse 99 on Threads. And I'm playing for you tonight, Xanthi, the golden-skinned changeling celestial sorcerer. And we are in a lot of trouble right now, really.
The understatement of the week. Welcome back, Ashley. It's so good to see you, and I love your new hair bangs. What are they called?
Bangs.
It's been so long since I've had hair. Thanks for being here.
What are they called? Bang.
Those hair bang things. Speaking of banging, let's jump over to Bleak Season. There it is.
Cheers. My name's Bleak Season. I hang out here, and I wish I had some fine leopard print like Ashley's got, because I don't got any. Yep. Doesn't go well with my personality, which is more of a cave dwelling bear kind of personality. But aside from caves, you can find me here, Bleak Season, Twitter, everywhere else. Tonight I'm playing, as always, Lachlan Felspar. Let's say it together. The most electrifying dwarf in all of Greyhawk.
100%.
There's a delay.
I'm probably going to
We
survive.
didn't all say it together.
No, I know, because you just letting me down, disappointing me all the time.
We'll do it again. Do over.
Yeah, do it one more time. We'll fix it in post. Yeah.
I'm probably going to survive tonight because I'm a barbarian. I got like a lot of hit points, and I'll cry over my friends' dead bodies.
I'm squishy.
That's sweet. That's really sweet. All right, well, Bleak, thanks for being here, buddy. I really appreciate you. And let's jump over next to Andy G 3D.
Hey, what's up, everybody? My name is Andy, also known as Andy G 3D, here on Twitch. Tonight, I am playing Desmond Adelar, who, only has one curse left, and he's trying to get rid of it. He needs some diamonds. So
I would like
he's happy
diamonds as
to
well.
accept diamonds as donations.
Really?
You know what, Andy? Considering the amount of times that we almost TPK'd, I think the real curse is your friends.
If nothing else, you're dungeon master.
At least I don't have two curses anymore.
That you know of.
There's that.
At what
Sorry.
cost?
Yeah.
Stealth curses.
So far.
That you know of.
That's
I know
right.
of.
That's right. Well, we'll see if we can't solve that problem for you by adding a couple of curses in the next couple of weeks. I'm sure there'll be plenty of opportunity for that. Speaking of a massive curse, let's go over to Shelley.
Hey, massive curse right here. Also gonna die tonight.
I love you, Shelley. I'm just kidding.
It's fine. Shelly, you can find me as Flea Monkey on Discord, and also Hey It's Flea Monkey on Threads and Blue Sky. Tonight, I am playing Nori, Philomena Bibblespark. Pretty injured. Pretty mad we're doing this. Let's just take the diamonds and run.
Well, I mean, that was something that Philomena Bibblespark attempted to instigate, but it didn't go over well.
I would like to restate my position. Take the diamonds and run.
Go on, take the diamonds and run.
Is anyone else a little bit worried about this contract that we signed?
Oh, I thought you were going to ask if we were a little bit worried about Nori. I've been worried about Nori since the beginning.
Oh, we're all weirdos.
Yeah. You guys signed an NDA that had a lot of fine print.
Yeah.
I forgot to ask
like,
how much we're getting
penalty.
paid.
Yeah, how much we're getting paid, penalty for not bringing this back.
Money is clearly irrelevant to us.
We trust that they will reward us handsomely.
Okay.
Trust.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Moving along. My name is Dave. You guys know me. I play games, produce games, run games here on Guild Spear. We have a couple of quick announcements. First and foremost, I want to give some shout outs. Now, you on the screen, if you're hanging out and watching this either live or in the future on our YouTube channel, you can see some awesome character artwork. That artwork was commissioned work that we had done from our friend Jose Ortiz, who is a fantastic artist. I'm putting Jose's link to his ArtStation profile, or what do you call it? Not profile, portfolio. There we go. Check it out. His stuff is so good, and he's doing a lot of really interesting stuff related to TTRPGs. So go check that out. Really, really appreciate Jose and all that Jose has done for us over the past. Also, our Heroes of Greyhawk logo. That thing is sweet. And we were able to work with our friends Aaron and Adam over at Trixie Wizard to help us out with that, and we love it. So thank you to them. I want to, as I like to do on a regular, is give a quick shout out to Anna B. Meyer, who produces the amazing Greyhawk maps that you often see. These maps are outrageously delicious and very inspirational. Yes, I would eat them if I could, but you can't eat digital maps very easily. So
you could print it out.
Yeah, I got indigestion when I tried that last time, but nevertheless, that's not Anna's fault. The maps are fantastic. So please give Anna's maps a look-see. And let's see, I also want to give a quick shout out to our sponsor, CZRPG. Now, you guys, Christian and his team over at CZRPG, guess what? They have a new Kickstarter going on. I'm going to tell you a little bit about it real quick. I'm going to post a link to their Kickstarter page. It looks like it's already funded, which is fantastic. They are doing something called Amazing Encounters and Locations, which is going to feature 12 brand new places for you to drop into your world, each filled with ready-to-play encounters. There's 240 pages to this 5e supplement that brings 38 encounters, 38 maps, and new creatures and magic items. Each encounter works independently, but the encounters of each location can be tied together into an adventure, a cohesive adventure. And all the places can be tied into a broad campaign that could take your characters from level 1 to 12 if you're in a normal campaign, or from level 1 to 2 if you're in one of my campaigns. That was supposed to be funny, but now that when it came off the tongue, it was sort of sad. With this book, you'll be able to save prep time, all while impressing your players with gorgeous art and stunning maps. Hell, you might even just impress yourself. So there you go. We're giving that thing away. Or no, we're not giving that thing away. That's a Kickstarter. We are going to, however, give something away at the end of the session. We're going to be giving away one of CZRPG's existing pieces of content, Amazing Encounters and Places. It's a bundle, so it'll have some PDF content that you can use for your adventures and a bunch of maps. So all you have to do to get that going, let me just double check to make sure that I've got this thing started. Yes, the giveaway is live, so !drawing. Andy's going to show you how to do it. It's very, very simple. !drawing to get in on the giveaway. We are going to give that away at the end of tonight's session, you guys. I'm super excited to be back playing Greyhawk on the regular and getting some sweet loot to give to folks who are hanging out with us. So good luck to everybody who's going to join in on that giveaway. We'll continue to remind folks throughout the night. I'm trying to remember if there are any other announcements. We had as many of you know, we had a very successful fundraising event raising funds for Games for Love, which is a fantastic charity, and we did it with your help. So thank you to everyone who participated, from the Game Masters, including our very own Bleak Season, our partner over at Phoenix Wacky, John, was fantastic to work with. We had a variety of Game Masters that played with us and ran games for us: Dungeon Mr. Ty, myself, Shiv, Kurt. Who am I forgetting? How dare me? Well, if I forgot you, I'm sorry, but you're still awesome. And then we had 55, I think it was 55 players that played in the games. We had like 17 games or something insane. But anyways, thank you all for being part of that. We raised over $4,000 for charity. And I didn't know if we would be able to do that, but we did. And it was fantastic. So thank you all for being part of that. That's a really special thing. And we get to be heroic, not only at the D&D table, but also in real life, which is fun and it's meaningful. So thank you very much for being part of that. I appreciate you. All right. So guys, am I forgetting anything?
Yeah, by
We got it, right? We nailed it.
Glossy giveaway.
Say it one more time.
The 8x10 glossy giveaway. I don't know. Baptized wants to know.
Oh, when we're gonna,
dude,
well, we have
maybe
to
we
take
should
that
do that.
photo first.
Yeah, we should do that. We should do headshots. All right,
No,
we'll
we
do
should
that.
just do shots.
Did someone say shots?
Yeah.
Shots. Wah, wah, wah. Do that thing, Andy. I can't do it. There it is. All right. Enough is enough. We're gonna get into a quick recap before we dive back into the action, you guys, because there's plenty of action to be had here, and I'm actually kind of nervous. When I was reviewing my notes, I got a little nervous. But anyways, here we go. You know it's serious when this music comes up, Andy. You were asking before, but this is it. All right, in our last session, the party assessed the aftermath of their harrowing battle with the Dark Druids. The portal having been closed, bodies of berserkers laying strewn across a blasted battlefield, off in the distance, a fire burning at the center of 4 standing stones, which you investigated. The standing stones bore depictions of godlike creatures, old gods, ancient gods, gods that Lachlan was able to recall fragments of lore about: Inkabilos, the god of plagues; Nerul, the god of death; Orcus, the demon prince of the undead. Nori, ever curious, doused the flames at the center of the circle. Oh, and I should say there was a 4th stone as well that seemed to be unfinished. Nori doused the flames that were burning in the center of the circle, revealing a strange seed. After much discussion, the party placed the mysterious seed in their pack and resolved to seek guidance with the druid Willow Whisperin when the opportunity presented itself. They continued on, and after a few days of travel, they arrived in the gnomish town of Namburil, where you had been previously for just moments. During your stay, you crossed paths with Bixwick McCready, who offered to hook you up with a job. You agreed. After some pancakes in the morning, Bixwick introduced you to Islas Flickerfern, proprietor of Flickerfern Appraisals, who informed you that an important item had been stolen from the Flickerfern vault. No small feat, given the arcane locks and high level of security provided by Bartleby Stonebrow and his dwarven security team. Nevertheless, her anxiety about the robbery was palpable, and she agreed to pay a hefty sum for the recovery of the stolen artifact. With your agreement to aid her, Islas bid you discuss matters with her manservant, Nesvin, who stepped forward with some substantial paperwork. And after signing an NDA, you learned that the stolen property was a strange amulet of elvish design, adorned with web-like iconography and quite possibly drow in origin. With some crafty questioning and stellar sleuthing, you revealed Nesvin as an accomplice to the thieves, and you put him on ice. Literally. Xanthi actually made some ice manacles. It was cool. He quickly turned informant and spilled the beans about his partners who had run off to the Silverhold mine to hand over the loot to some unknown party. So off you went to Silverhold, where you explored the depths of the mine and came upon 4 gnomes as they handed over the stolen goods to a trio of drow elves. After allowing the gnomes to escape, you confronted the drow. With a bit of misdirection and a surprise shot from his crossbow, Desmond dropped one of the elves in a single shot, and the battle began. Xanthi and Desmond were blinded by drow magic for a long frickin' time, you guys, while a skittering Durgaloth, which happened to be a CR7 random encounter, pounced on Nori. Lachlan split the battlefield with a gust of wind while the drow leader and his remaining minion fought to protect their artifact. In mid-battle, the drow struck a deal, or attempted. to help the party fight off the Durgaloth, giving everyone a chance to take a breath, but only for a moment. The drow, revealing his name to be Fereth Duskrim, did his best to convince you to allow him to reclaim his amulet, but you weren't having it. With a deft use of an invisible mage hand, Desmond nicked the amulet from Fereth and fired a shot. The mage retaliated with a blast of lightning that dropped Desmond and Nori to the ground. Sweet, sweet lightning. Lachlan retaliated by grabbing the amulet, racing towards a thermal vent, and threatening to drop the family artifact into the abyss. Xanthi moved in to save Desmond with some magical healing, and Desmond fed Nori a healing potion, getting her back up. The tension was palpable, my friends, and I would say the tension still is palpable because we are in the middle of combat. You have yet to resolve this encounter, and as we get back into the action, Desmond, you had just used your action at the top of the last bit of your last action. I'm just going to say to get Nori back up with a healing potion, and it is sadly the drow's turn. Lachlan, as you stand over the vent holding the amulet, you watch as the spellcasting drow turns towards you, conjures some sort of magical effect. And I need you, my friend, as I stall and look at my notes, to make a dexterity saving throw as a large patch of webbing apparates around you, covering your feet and your legs, but also covering the vent. This greenish steam and the sulfuric smoke billowing through the webbing, but thick. And you have the potential, if you don't make the save, to be restrained. So, my friend, a dexterity saving throw. Armin, thank you or Arg Scott, thank you. What's going on, Armin? Thank you for gifting a sub to Arg Scott. And thank you to everybody. Thank you to, I'm not going to go there, Lachlan.
So,
as I'm mumbling, tell me, my friend, what do you do?
I will tell you this. If you look at D&D Beyond, you will see that on my character sheet, I have an inspiration. That is the very first inspiration we got.
Oh,
at the
you
very
never
beginning
used
of this
it.
campaign.
All these 45
All these times,
episodes.
I put that inspiration there
Oh.
on that sheet, and I kept my other ones written separately, and I used up the other ones.
Dude.
But that one, even that time where we burned like a ton, I was like, that one's not moving. It's staying there for
Wow.
and I think that moment is now. I think you're right. I think the moment is now. So go ahead and give me a dexterity save. The DC is a 12. Well, it's probably a good thing because one of them is a 6 and the other one's a 13 plus 1, 14. So it's probably a good thing
that is a good thing.
And I'm about to click it off. Ta-da,
okay.
Gone.
All right, so you find some inspiration as you stand there. The webs apparate, and they do fill the space around you. They do cover up the vent, but you don't seem to have gotten restrained by them, luckily.
Nice.
The drow looks over and you says, "If you do not yield and return my family's heirloom, my associate here will run your gnome friend through." And you watch as the swordsman takes one step to the side with the blade of the sword pointed right at Nori, who is prone after having just been revived by Desmond. Now he's going to ready an action.
I will take the amulet.
Well, before you do anything.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
He just, because it's going to be your turn next, and then you can do your stuff. But he just says, "You do not want this to end the way it will end if you do not comply. What do you say, dwarf?" Now you're looking at these guys, and all of you who can see these two drow can see that they are as beat up and bloodied, almost as beat up and bloodied as some of you are. This has been a ruthless battle. They're cut. There are wounds that are seeping blood into their cloaks, and their clothing is stained. Lachlan, it's your turn, my friend. What do you do?
Look at my friends. Look at Nori. Look at Dez. How beat up they are. Look at Xanthi. Looking fresh as a daisy.
Mm-hmm. Always.
I can see now.
And I will...
There we go.
Say... You still paying for him? You still paying for it?
Are you negotiating with me?
No, I'm telling you, if you give us what you were going to give us earlier, I'll give it to you and you can fuck off.
He looks at you, thinking for a moment. Do you want to try to persuade him, or are you just asking him straight up?
I'll give it the old persuasion.
Okay.
I got some skills to pay the bills.
I would hope so. We got disconnected from Twitch for a second there. Yeah. Yep. You got some skills to pay the bills. Let's hear it.
My friends. That's a dirty 20.
Oh, shit. Okay. He looks at you and sort of raises an eyebrow. Looks over at his companion and he says, "The deal is still on the table. Yield. Bring me the amulet and you shall have the gemstones."
Okay. Let my friends walk away from you and I'll come to you. Hey, I just don't want my friends to die.
There is still some honor in you yet then. He says something in Underdark, or excuse me, Undercommon, and the other drow sort of pulls his blade back, and you can see he's still tense with the sword, but he pulls it away from Nori's throat. And I'll say that as a reaction, he will take one step back.
So I'm going to use my movement to kind of move in and edge in and sort of stand, you know, kind of here sort of thing.
Sure.
And I'll hold his amulet up in one hand. I'll hold my hand out.
He takes the pouch and he reaches out with one hand and holds the pouch as the two of you begin to exchange items. He's looking at you right in the eyes.
I'm looking at him right in the eyes.
He looks back at you right in the eyes.
Still looking at him in the eyes.
Yep, and he continues to look at you, and then he just gives you a little wink. And he takes the amulet and lets go of the pouch.
There better be diamonds in there.
I slide the pouch back to Nori, and I'm like, back away, back away. I'm going to stand there between the drow and... One thing, I don't know what that thing does. I'm pretty sure I wouldn't like it if I did. But if we ever cross paths again. We clear?
We shall not meet again unless the fates deem it to be so.
Yeah,
and we're out of initiative at this point. He is going to take steps backward, keeping an eye on all of you until they get about 15 feet away from you.
I ready a spell just in case he wants to be a fucking dipstick.
You can see now as they start to turn to walk away, like they are super injured. His soldier that's with him is like dragging himself away from the battlefield with a blood trail kind of like dripping behind him on the stone of this chamber. And as long as you don't see any need to retaliate or re-instigate the battle, they are going to disappear into a tunnel that leads deeper into this cavern complex and deeper into the Underdark.
Are we just giving out evil amulets now? Like, to every, like, questionable person that we run into?
No, just when some of us risk losing their lives over it.
Nori is opening the bag,
What do
looking
they
for
give
diamonds.
us? It better be something good.
It's wood chips.
If there's not a diamond in here, I'm going to go after them.
I wonder what the odds are that this guy totally lied about what was in the pouch.
Spiders.
Ooh, it's a bag of spiders.
Who keeps a bag of spiders?
Yeah,
One of these
dude.
days.
All right, so you look inside the pouch, Nori, and you do see that there are some gemstones. There are 3 diamonds. There are 2 small diamonds that you estimate that are probably worth about 50 gold pieces each. There's 1 large diamond, which is at least 100 gold pieces, maybe 120 gold pieces in value. None of you are jewelers per se, but you can tell that they're valuable. There is an uncut sapphire of unknown value and a black pearl that is polished and kind of glimmers.
Can I just hold on to, like, one of those 50 gold piece diamonds? I think it would help me be more violent.
You can hold on to the whole bag. I mean, should we put the whole bag? Take what you want, put the rest in your
In the,
stuff.
the
I don't
party
need 'em.
bag? The
Yeah.
special bag? All right.
I just want to make sure we got what he said we were going to get, you know?
Can you imagine if the price of diamonds has dropped and the biggest diamond are just worth 48 gold and
Dude,
99?
inflation is a bitch.
I would go after them for that.
Oh, Nori.
Dez is gonna go search this other drow, the guy that he shot.
Ah, okay. There we go.
See if he can.
Yeah, so you search this other drow and you find that the drow has some stuff on him. He has a small dagger in a belt scabbard that looks to be quite nice. It is gleaming, razor sharp. Give me a D4 roll, please, Desmond.
How many hit points of damage you're taking?
Yep, as you touch it,
It's
you
how
accidentally
many
cut
curses I get
yourself.
for picking it
What's
up.
this?
Yep.
Oh, it's a 1.
You also find that there is a vial that appears to have maybe some poison in it. You've seen poison before. This is not a poison that you've actually handled, but above the table, it's a 1 dose of drow poison, which you can add from the D&D Beyond. And you also find that there is a small pouch of coin that amounts to about 10 gold pieces. And a longsword that is of nice craftsmanship as well. Very high quality weapons that this guy has. But they are undoubtedly of kind of drow design. It's kind of a cross between a scimitar and more of a longsword.
Okay. Well, he's definitely going to take those things.
Yeah. So you find that you're standing in this space, and as the sort of quiet settles in upon you, you can just hear sort of echoes of dripping water. You can hear sort of the steam belching ever so slightly from these vents around you. And as you look around in this large chamber, you just see that there's this glimmering sort of glow, this magical glow that just sort of like floats through the air, illuminating the space in a dim light. Hey, what's up, Jay? Thanks for joining us. Really appreciate it. Great, glad to see ya. So with this having transpired, my friends, what do you do?
Can I give some cure wounds to Nori and Des?
Absolutely, you
I
can.
won't say no.
All right, Nori, you'll get 8
What's up,
points,
Phoenix?
and Des, you'll get 10.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you, Lachlan.
No problem. Do you want another one? I can give you another one.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
She needs the
And
most.
you can add 7 points to that.
Well, that sucked.
It was pretty rough. Don't
Yeah, I
Think
just
that
figured,
they're gonna come back, like having summoned some spider god and laying waste another town, and then it'll be our fault again.
Yeah, but we'll all be alive to fight them.
You don't think this is going to ruin my chances to get a record deal with Bisquick, do you?
No one needs to.
Bisquick.
No one needs to know what happens in the cave stays in the cave.
Well, if we walk out with all of the drow weapons, they're going to know something happened, right?
Yeah,
An
maybe we got
altercation,
into
we're all
distracted,
alive.
and then they ran away, and then no
Let's
one needs
just
to know
hide.
anything about the amulet. We never saw the amulet. No one had
Never
the
saw the amulet. We never saw the amulet.
I mean, are we gonna go back and say like we didn't get it, or are we just not going to go back?
We should go back.
We should go back.
We could tell them where we saw them go. It's out of our hands.
We did see like
I mean,
the employees.
right. We
Should
saw
we
the
go catch them?
But
we
they
saw
didn't
those
see us.
gnomes leaving.
My feeling is, well, there's 2 things we can do. We can either just ignore it, go back to town, and say sorry. We didn't manage to get them. They fled before we got there. We can go and try to catch the gnomes and bring them in, but I mean, those guys at the bank were pretty shifty as far as I'm concerned, and look, we got paid out. Everyone's alive. Call it a win.
Get some nice diamonds. You guys need these, right?
Yeah, I've been thinking of making these earrings, like 3 nice earrings with big diamonds. I think that would be.
I think the black pearl would look really nice, just like hanging jauntily on one side.
No, you can't do that. Haven't you ever heard of the curse of the Black Pearl? It was a pirate
No.
ship.
No.
Bad business. Bad business.
Okay, then the sapphire. I think you'd look great with one earring.
And like in my nipple.
Yes, in your left nipple.
Like a tassel?
Can you say
No,
nipple
just
I
in
mean,
on
I'm
there.
trying to
Twitch?
hang.
Too difficult to do. Sounds like a real tassel. Let's go back to town.
Okay.
Everyone's alive. That's all that matters.
That was a close one, though, right?
It was.
So what are we gonna tell them?
That
Nothing.
they got away?
I
No.
want to tell them the truth. They got away.
Yeah.
All right.
We tried to interfere, but some devilish creature. I think that was. I'm not sure. That was a Scottish Jeff. I think that creature that attacked us. We just tell him Scottish Jeff attacked us. And
That's
terrible.
Actually, Phoenix and Jay.
oh.
Yeah, that was Rob's fault.
So
Well,
Where did
I
that
think
come
we
from?
should-
That was ridiculous.
I know.
I've never seen one like this.
It's almost like it was summoned out of thin air. It's just.
That
Just
thing
like-
was ugly.
And when it swung those arms around like that?
It did not smell very good either.
No.
Oh,
Kind of reminded me of that Kapaba Boss. Like how that, like that thing was just ugly. You went around back then, Nori.
Hmm.
You would have liked the Kapaba Boss.
probably.
Yeah.
What did it smell like?
Terrible.
What kind of terrible?
Kind of like that thing the thing we just fought in there.
Like pea soup. Rotting pea soup.
Oh, God. Let's go back to
Kind
town.
of
Let's
a
go.
rotting vegetable matter kind of a thing, maybe. Yeah, but stronger and more pungent.
Just not good.
All right, so I think
At
we
least
should
it didn't summon some
tell.
giant spider.
I think we should tell the people that we followed. We did kind of happen across those gnomes, and they had already sold the amulet to someone. Because they did. It's always good to just, mostly tell the truth.
Yeah. We followed the thieves that already sold it to somebody else. We tried to interfere. We got attacked by some nasty creature, and the other guys got away.
I don't have a problem with that.
We're good.
Yeah.
Good.
Let's get out of here.
Yep. Before some other fucking thing comes at us.
All right. As you begin to retrace your steps through the intricate network of caves, you leave this magical realm of floating magical illumination, illuminescent plants and fungi growing on the walls.
Can I grab a little bit of it?
Absolutely, you can.
Slap it in my book?
Yeah, these are
study.
fungi that you've never seen before, and as you pull one off, it burns your hand a little bit, and you put it in your book. Did you say?
Yeah.
And close the book on it.
Yeah.
You just hear this squishing sound, and it just kind of squirts out the sides, and the book pages begin to sort of burn away a little bit. You've definitely made an impression.
That didn't go the way I wanted it to. I'm going to open the book really quick and pull out the 2 pages that it was on either side.
Yeah, they're all stuck together. You just pull the pages out and drop them.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
Grab another one with the pages and put it in my bag this time. Non-squished. Hopefully it doesn't dissolve anything in there.
I love it.
I want some. I don't care what I have to do.
The rest of you are watching this happen, and give me a perception check, everyone.
Can I use my passive?
Perception.
Yeah, that's fine.
21.
Ooh,
Very nice.
15.
17.
15.
Your passive perception is a 15? Wow.
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
impressive.
passive perception?
No, I asked if I could use that.
Oh.
Yeah, I have +5.
Desmond, as you're watching Nori, collect these fungal specimens off of the wall, you're watching, and sort of maybe it's a little bit of amusing as Nori is kind of struggling a little bit with this stuff, but then you see a bit of movement, and you look past Nori back into this large chamber that you're just about to leave, and you see skittering down the wall a large, Lachlan, earmuffs, a large arachnid creature. Largest spider you've ever seen, as it's just slowly skitters down the wall.
I don't know. We saw that big spider that killed Norb.
This is bigger than that.
What?
Run, the spider!
And you can see, as you say that, the spider kind of looks over at you, and as you start to make your way out, whoever looks back would see, potentially, if you look back, you'd see the spider come down, and it's sort of like right above the body of the drow, and it shoots web down, and you watch as the body of the drow just gets pulled back up in the web into the spider's mandibles, and it just skitters back up into the darkness. And you find yourselves now sort of in the forgotten and abandoned mine of the Silverhold mine, and you make your way out, eventually finding your way to the open air, emerging from the darkness into the light of the day. You can tell by the position of the sun that it's just past midday.
Lachlan's got the 1,000-yard stare. Did you see that spider?
I didn't do it.
That thing was huge.
Biggest spider I've ever seen, and I've seen a really big spider before.
What? Was that thing there the whole time?
Probably. How does that make you feel?
Seasick?
Well,
You know, it was probably up in a cavern somewhere and just smelled bodies and came down. It was probably
yeah.
far away when we were getting lightning bolted and stuff.
Right, maybe it was attracted to the noise.
yeah, but don't they worship a spider god there?
Right,
Those
I'm
ones.
pretty sure that, the spider amulet that they were bringing back is magical and has something to do with the same spider god that Laird the Beautiful used before he turned into a spider. So that was probably not good to give it to him, but I don't know.
I'm sorry, you were saying? I was thinking about that spider.
Oh, I'm saying how they'll probably come back and kill us. Or,
think?
Somebody we care about.
You think they'll bring the spider?
Yes.
We should get extra points because we did give it to him. I mean,
Yeah, and then Lachlan said, if I see you again, I'll kill you.
well, Lachlan could have easily killed both of them, I'm sure, right there.
All right.
We could have taken him.
I think we could have too,
I
after I
No,
got my
yeah.
sight back.
No Monday morning quarterbacking here. We did what we did. Let's go home and never speak of this again.
Okay.
Nori, I said never speak of it again. You were going to.
Mm,
You were going to.
not right now.
Wait, does that NDA mean we can't talk to each other about it?
Yeah, I think that means we can't tell anybody about what happened.
Right, but what about us?
Well, how would they know? How would they know? We didn't get implants of any sort that listened to us.
I don't know, maybe it was magical.
That you know
Did we
of.
sign a magical contract?
Do you think it was magic? I hope
don't
not.
know.
Well, I mean, you poured over the document, Xanthi, right? I mean, did it say we couldn't talk to each other about it?
I mean,
Just-
I read it out loud. I mean, most of it until you
wasn't
guys told me
listening
to
the whole
stop
time.
reading and that we should just
Oh
sign
yeah,
it.
I read the whole thing. Perfect. It was great.
I was looking at the food. Well,
We're not supposed to talk about it.
All right. Well, I guess we should go back and tell them that we didn't do it. I mean, they didn't pay us, so I guess.
Well, we got to go
Like-
read our contracts.
You know what we should say when we
Oh,
get there and they
no.
ask us about it? We should say we signed an NDA. We can't talk to you about it. And then just
get
leave.
them with their own loophole. I like it. Let's do that.
We signed a new NDA.
An NDA to supersede the old NDA.
I have to imagine you guys are walking and talking as
Yes.
this is
Yeah.
happening. And eventually you, after, an hour or so of journey, it wasn't that far outside of Namburil, you find yourself returning to this small town, and it's obvious to you that nobody in this town has any idea of what just happened. People are happy-go-lucky. There's gnomes that just kind of wave to you and smile and bid you welcome. Some of them kind of look at you and trying to see if they recognize who you are, Nori, but they just kind of walk past after just greeting you pleasantly. Where do you intend to go now that you're in Namburil?
Time of day is it?
It's probably mid to late afternoon.
Oh, we should probably tell the bank lady that we didn't get her amulet back.
But
Right?
we do know it was those employees.
Yeah, I mean, we can tell them what we learned.
Shh. They'll probably find that information very valuable. You know, it's not like we're not giving her anything. Her own employees,
Mm-hmm.
you know, root out the problem. We can say where they went.
Well, that they'd already sold the amulet to someone.
Mm-hmm. Apparently the rightful owners. Well, we shouldn't say that, though.
Yeah, I don't know if we should volunteer that information.
I feel good about that, though. Sort of.
And we don't actually know who they were. Like, they never introduced themselves.
We're still talking about this.
I
You
mean,
guys walk past walk like near the Flicker for an Appraisal building. You can see that Bartleby, Stonebrow, and a couple of other dwarven guards are just kind of standing out in front, not at attention, but you can tell that they are observing and kind of keeping track of things. You did not see this when you were first visiting this particular establishment, but they seem to be on a higher level of alert.
I think they know about the spiders, or that you guys have been breaking the NDA.
Oh god, are they watching us? Like they have some way of like spying on us at all times?
I told you about the implants. They know.
As you
know.
say that, you see a gnomish fellow kind of running towards your direction, and it's none other than Bixwick McCready. Everything go well? Things are successful? We got the job done? Yeah?
Sorry.
In a matter of speaking, yeah.
Oh, good. I mean, how did it go?
Could have gone better.
We weren't successful.
We
But
weren't
can't talk
able
about
to.
it at the NDA.
Oh, that's
We
right.
can't
we can't
say
talk
anything
about
else,
this with you.
but
we have to go in and speak with the owners.
Oh, well, I'm sorry to hear that. Are you okay? You don't look well. Nori, are you all right? You look...
yeah, I'm fine. My music fingers are fine, so I can still play.
You can still do finger stuff?
I can still do finger stuff. Yeah,
Good.
no problem.
Gotten all the way to here. Jeez, news travels fast.
Yeah, we've heard all about it. Bit of a reputation, this one. As a musician, with nimble fingers.
As a musician, yeah. I mean, that was an amazing show I put on the other night.
Absolutely.
We gotta go.
Okay. Well, shoot. I was kind of hoping for kind of a little bit of a payday, but I mean, I understand things don't always go the way you plan them to go, and it's not your fault. You did, I'm assuming, the best you could do. You seem like great people who would, put your best foot forward and give it the old apprentice try.
Oh yeah, we got the crap beaten out of us.
I'm sorry to hear that. Is there anything I can do?
No, I mean, that's probably all we should say.
Yeah, I understand. I do appreciate the fact that you're adhering to the agreement that you signed. I actually had to sign one of them too, but they didn't even really tell me anything, so I don't know.
Yeah.
Whatever. Okay, well, shoot, maybe we can grab a drink later or something and come up with some other, I could probably still find you some other work as long as it doesn't get around town that, like you didn't, produce. But, NDA, I can't say a thing. I'm not going to, my lips are sealed with this, and I don't know what that means. More like buttons. I don't know if they have zippers in Greyhawk. We'll have to fact check that later. All right.
Jay's in the chat. He might know.
Yep. All right, thanks. I don't know. I'll be over at the tavern. We'll come up with something. Yep. I'll get right to work on it. We'll find you another gig. All right. Good luck.
Okay.
Sorry to hear it didn't go so well.
Yeah, no problem, man. Thanks. Think you bought it?
Yeah.
Sounded like, yeah.
I think he's disappointed.
Well, of course he's disappointed. I don't think they'll pay us for just not getting them the thing and just giving them information.
Yeah, I mean, I think we haven't seen disappointment yet. I think.
Well, I mean, if we were stand-up kind of people, we'd give him a cut of the diamonds we got.
I think they'd be very upset if they found out about the diamonds.
So let's not let them find out about the diamonds.
Right.
All right.
I mean,
Santi,
if
you
we-
do the talking.
If we did, they would
Oh, okay. Yep.
tip our hat.
All right. I'm in charge. Come on, guys.
You walk up and Bartleby Stonebrow is there. He says, "Ah, yes, you're back. Good, good. Isolus is expecting you." He reaches over and opens the door. You look, and he seems to be pretty well armored. He's got some nice leather armor on underneath his cloak. He has a couple of hand axes on his belt and a warhammer that's slung to his back. He has two additional security agents with him that seem to be as equally armored and armed, and they appear to have ramped up the security just a smidge, as they say. He opens the door and you walk in. You do not see Nesvin at Nesvin's reception desk. In fact, you see someone completely different. A young gnomish woman. "Oh, welcome back. I was told you'd be returning. I'll holler for Miss Flickerfern." And she gets up, and she's got a bit of a limp, but she hurries as best she can through a doorway and leaves you in the waiting room, which you remember has like a little refreshment area with fresh juices and a bowl that's been replenished with hard candies that are in the shape of small fruits.
When she turns around, Des is going to grab a handful of the candies from the dish.
A minute passes, 2, 3, and suddenly the door opens and this young gnomish woman walks through, and then you see right behind her the silver-haired Isolus Flickerfern as she enters into the room. "Well then, you've returned. Does this bode well? Do you have good news for me?" And she's kind of rubbing her hands, and you can see that she's sort of wringing her hands together. The anxiety has not left her. "I hope you have good news for me."
Well, we have good news and we have bad news. The good news is, well, we did find out it was your employees. They were working with Nesbit, who gave them
Yes.
some kind of a deal.
Nesvin has been detained and has been singing like a canary about the whole incident.
However, by the time we caught up with your ex-employees, they had already sold the amulet to another party. And as we were pursuing them, we got attacked by a large creature.
That was the good news?
Well, that was the bad news. The bad news was that we got attacked by a large creature and we were not
Oh
able
my God.
to pursue the third party
This is not good.
who, they sold it to.
Who's the third party, if I dare ask? And someone obviously that you couldn't stop? I thought you were capable adventurers. Bisquick had spoken so highly of you. Tell me, what did you encounter? What?
Well, okay, so there was like this bug thing that like was psychic, and then there was a giant spider. And we almost died.
Oh my God, what am I gonna do?
So
Okay, but you didn't die. You're alive, so that's
we are alive.
good news. I guess.
We could continue to hunt down your gnome ex-employees if you like, but we don't currently
so-
have them.
Okay, so I'll put that in the bad news column along with. You said there was good news.
Well, the good news is we found out who it was, and so like we have, like you do know who did it.
I can feel it.
But-
I can feel a migraine coming on. This is not good. This is not good at all. This could be the end. This could be the end of. She starts pacing. Okay. Nope. Look, Isolus, you got this. We have never lost anything from Flickerfern appraisals before, and While I am quite distraught at the prospect of informing the item's owner of the loss. Yeah, I'm very distraught, actually. There's no quite.
You know,
Okay.
there's more good news. I mean, you never paid us, so you didn't lose any money.
Oh. Yeah, right. The payment, yes, of course. Yes, the payment, of course. Yes, that is, that's good news. We're going to have to consolidate our holdings and perhaps sell some of the art to make up for. Yes. Well, these are not your problems to deal with at this point.
May I make a suggestion?
Yes, you may.
In the future, you may want to seek out some sort of organization whom you could give a monthly stipend to, and who would, in the event of you losing an item or having it stolen, as it was in this case, provide you with some sort of monetary fund ensuring the value of the item.
Sounds like a scam.
Yeah, probably, but
that is a good
You're just
idea.
going to
Although
bet
this item,
oh yeah, I think it'll get stolen this month.
Yeah,
Just
that's
give
not
us
good
some
marketing,
money.
really, for the appraisals business. The hard part, Master Dwarf, is that this item was invaluable and quite powerful. Tell me, do you know who?
Powerful. You said it wasn't
Purchased.
a magic item. You said it was just an old piece of jewelry.
Did I say powerful? I meant very powerful. Again, this is nothing for you to be concerned about. Who did you say was the purchaser of the item?
We didn't get a name from your ex-employees. I'm sorry.
But we know they were drow.
Drow.
Three drow fellas.
Drow, you say? This is
Yeah.
plus the several others that.
Yeah,
this
white
is
hair.
worse. This goes in the bad news column. The bad news column is getting quite large. Yes. I'll be straight with you. The item was of great import to the individual who trusted Flickerfern Appraisals with its storage and protection. I do not know why the gnomes would have done this, but
It was for
Nesvin
the
and his
money.
I pay my employees so well.
Yeah,
Well-
well.
Well, you said Nesbin was singing
It's-
like a canary. What did he say?
Oh, well, we've captured all of them, so, I mean, eventually they'll all talk, and hopefully I'll be able to get a bit more information about who this drow individual was, but that item in
who's
the
the
hands
owner?
of... this, I am sorry, but I cannot discuss with you. I'm sure you understand. Discretion is very important in our line of work. But this is not good. Let's suffice it to say it's an individual of great wealth and, well, influence in the region. Okay. I will say this, as if not to fill the bad news column beyond its capacity, this item in the wrong hands could be quite dangerous.
I mean, how
Yeah.
dangerous could it be? Like, summon the dark god dangerous?
I'm not at liberty to discuss the...
Please say no.
No.
Okay.
You don't even need an
But are
insight check. She's like...
You s-
Yeah,
you saying that 'cause
she's
we told you
covering
to
up
say
the
that?
truth. Yeah.
You realize you're the ones who lost it, right? Like we can recover it, but that's not quite as bad as being the ones who lost it.
I appreciate you, what do they say in Dwarvish speak, rubbing it in. I'm quite aware of the folly and the disappointment that will be expressed by our customer. This is not good. Not good at all. Well, again, not for you to deal with. This your work, although not done here, is well done here.
Yeah, like just to kind of make it a little nicer, we'll just call it evens. We didn't get your item back, and no harm, no foul.
No harm, no foul. Yes, that's an interesting turn of phrase. Okay, well,
Right. Well, yeah.
I guess
luck.
that ends our arrangement. I would remind you that the NDA you signed is binding in perpetuity. This situation that we've found ourselves in, this unfortunate situation, lots of bad news. I don't even recall the good news. Should not be spoken of.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, I mean, our lawyers will be in touch.
No
Well,
problem.
chances are those gnomes know the guy's name, and you can
Yes.
confirm that he is a drow.
Yeah, they had
So-
to have found some way to contact him. Or them. Or her.
They have
Don't know.
pled ignorance to this moment. Stonebrow's men, of course, have been questioning them for most of the morning. They were picked up hiding out near the mine entrance. Well, I'm sure we'll get to the bottom of it, and maybe with a bit of luck, we might even be able to recover the item. But I fear that it has fallen into what could end up being a long, mysterious disappearance. Well, I guess our business is done. I appreciate the effort, at the very least.
Mm-hmm. Right. Au revoir.
Feel free to
Better luck next
take
time.
some candies with you on the way out.
I look in there, it's already empty, isn't it? Des.
Do you eat
You-
all of those?
I have some extra.
He's cursed with a sweet tooth.
I would hope you have extra. That was
There's worse curses to have in this
fumble.
game, that's for sure. All right, so the four of you depart, and you can just kind of hear Iselis as she walks back through the doorway, leaving the room as well, that she's sort of muttering to herself. And I will say that Xanthi, as you sort of were describing or discussing with her and filling her in, and then as you all turn to leave and as she turns away, you notice that she had a pendant on a short chain around her neck. And it looked familiar to you. Give me a history check.
Come on, history. Oh, 19.
Hey.
Whoa.
What are the
really good.
odds?
Pretty good, apparently. You notice that she was wearing a small pendant on the chain, and on the pendant, which was probably silver, best you can tell, was a symbol that was familiar to you that you've seen before. It was an 8-pointed star. And you, with your history check, you realize that you've seen that before, and you've seen it as part of the cartography shop logo that Lulu operates in the free city of Greyhawk. Very similar symbol. And at first it didn't really click with you, but as you guys walk back out into the fresh air, you sort of have that realization that, man, I've seen that before. That's strange. Or maybe not. Maybe it's just a coincidence.
I mean, you know what? I think I've seen that pendant thing that Flickerfern was wearing before. I wonder if she's in Lulu's club. You know, like the Super Adventurers Club?
Did they have a name? They just
I don't know what
That
the name
star
was because
that
they
she
wouldn't
was
let
wearing?
me in the club. But I swear I've seen that before, and maybe that's part of it. They get matching necklaces with their club. That is so cool.
Are you gonna want us to get matching necklaces now?
Well, what? Like 3 of us have matching necklaces still from the oath that we did. You
Yeah,
didn't want one,
I
so
know,
you don't
but
have
yeah.
a matching necklace for the club, but
Oh yeah, you didn't take the oath.
No, and
Are
look
you
how
f- are you
free I
feeling
am.
left-
Look how free I am.
Are you feeling left out right now?
No, actually, I
He's
feel kind of
feeling
lucky.
like he didn't take an oath and not fulfill it. Probably.
That's the long and the short of it.
I'd like to have that feeling. Really.
I feel like I dodged a crossbow bolt.
if we die and we don't fulfill this oath before we die, does that mean that we'll like turn into ghosts or something, or be like
Probably
cursed
gonna turn into
to wander the earth?
Probably gonna turn to some of those mushrooms.
Yeah, we're gonna turn into mushrooms. I don't want to be fungus.
That would be really weird that, the elf ghost would turn us into fungus, which is what he wanted us to kill.
We don't need to talk about this because we are going to
seemed like a
fulfill
nice
this oath.
guy.
We're going to do this for him.
Yeah.
We have
Maybe
to.
we'll turn into one of those nice balls of light that just kind of like followed people around on the island.
Well, I mean, if we had a choice.
Yeah.
If he said, you haven't fulfilled this oath, what would you like to be turned into? You have a choice. I would choose that.
Okay.
Right? We could all be that.
It's something to think about, what you
Yeah.
would like to be turned into once we don't fulfill this.
But we're fulfilling it. This is not the conversation we should be having about the oath. It should be, how are we going to do this? But
Not cursed yet.
Nori, give me a D8 roll.
not cursed yet. 1.
Okay. All right, thank you. All right, so what do you intend to do now? Kind of big picture. You've kind of wrapped up sort of this conversation with Eastless Flickerfern at Flickerfern Appraisals. You've loaded her down with a massive steaming pile of bad news. And now you have to make some decisions of what you intend to do. Previous to this, you had stopped a dark arcane ritual that was being perpetrated by dark druids to try to release this evil entity called Anthraxis onto the world. All of that sort of building up to this point. Now, where do you go from here? Where could you possibly go from here?
I think we wanted to go and find that helpful druid healer who was going to possibly lift the curse on Des.
Yeah,
Okay.
that would definitely be something Des would bring up.
Willow
Is going-
Whisperwind. Yep.
Yeah,
Yes.
going to see Willow.
So that would be about a week's journey back towards Twilight Falls, but not quite to Twilight Falls. You'd be going back to you'd probably end up going back to the Green Jerkin Rangers Thornhaven Outpost.
Yeah. And we should tell them about Anthraxis and all that other stuff.
But let me know what's going on, yeah, because if we're gonna leave the area, they might as well know. Can we buy like horses? Now that we're like,
Rolling in it.
Rich.
Well, let's get our gems appraised. Should we do that here? Does that look suspicious, though?
You were just at the appraisal shop.
Yeah. Yeah, we should
Oh, is that what
not.
it is?
hey, while we're at it,
Yeah.
One more thing.
About this windfall of treasure that we came
Oh my
across
God.
when we did
We-
not return your amulet.
Not
Did not
suspicious
find
at
it.
all.
we can't. The same building. Okay, we can't go back there.
No, we should not do that in this town.
So do we hit the road or
Let's go
go
to the druids.
I
stay
would
at the
think
inn
that
one more
like
night?
getting out of here as soon as possible is probably best.
Should we go say goodbye to Bixwick?
Do you want to go say goodbye to Bixwick?
I think we should, right? We'll share a beverage with him. I mean, we could head off tomorrow morning.
Why do we have to
Probably.
stay overnight? Oh,
It's not that. Or
I mean,
Or
don't
is
let
it?
me
Maybe I need
stand
the
in your
amulet?
way.
Well, you know,
we could travel at night. That doesn't seem so safe.
You're right. Maybe we should. It's evening right now, so maybe we should just go to sleep. You know,
Yeah, that's what we've
and
always
then
done before.
head out tomorrow morning.
all right. But if we get attacked in the middle of the night by the drow and the spider, I'm putting it on you guys.
Lachlan, I'll teach you to read up in the room.
Oh, okay. I am pretty good. I'm up to C now.
That's a start. No.
You know, I hear that music helps information sink in. Maybe you do that downstairs while I'm maybe playing the bird pipes.
Or I could make you up a song about the alphabet.
A is for apple. B is
Good
for...
enough for you.
I have one in Dwarvish. Do you want to hear it?
A
Yeah.
is for apocalypse. B is for bear. No? All
No.
right.
I only know it in
I
Dwarvish.
mean, it ended nice.
So a couple of things. You guys can spend another night at the Hearthspire Haven. And they do it. There's a place where you can purchase goods and equipment and supplies. So there are, if you wanted to look into purchasing some mounts, you could potentially purchase some ponies here.
Pony's
So that-
perfect.
that's an option.
Do we really have that kind of money?
I don't know. I mean, maybe we do if we, but
We
I don't know that we want to just throw a bunch of money right here. It would look suspicious, would it not?
mhm.
Yeah.
Totally up to you guys. There is a general store, as you know, in Namburil that I think you've been to. Yeah, you purchased a decoy tent at the Glimmerstone Emporium.
Is that where Lachlan
Right.
bought the shirts too?
Yes. Yep.
The
And
little
you got your
clothing
cloak
shopping?
on the way in.
Was that the same place?
Yep. The Glimmerstone General Store, run by Malia Glimmerstone. So there's that. If you were to inquire, you would find out that the ponies cost 30 gold pieces each.
Ponies can definitely only take one person, right?
If you're gonna ride a
If-
pony, yeah, you could probably put a gnome and one other person, a smaller person on one. I think you could do
Did you
that.
say 30 gold pieces each?
Yep.
Well, I mean, I could put up I could put up 50, maybe 60.
How much do we have in the bag? Do we have a running total right now?
We don't have really. I mean, so we got a bunch of stuff just recently, and that's not added in. Let's see.
To kind of
we're
answer your
counting-
question, Shell, like a pony has a carrying capacity about 225 pounds. So it's pretty substantial for a pony. It's not bad.
But that still is probably 3 ponies.
I would say minimum.
Yeah.
We have at least 200 gold in our
I think we
group
should
bag
save it.
before the drow.
I think we should save it too. But
Invest it. Watch that
Lachlan, we-
investment grow. Ponies
we
don't
like tired-
depreciate.
yeah,
We-
they do.
Do
If we're
they?
gonna invest, we should
Yeah.
invest in mushrooms.
They get old.
Growth industry.
Want to have a coffee shop and mushroom dispensary. Is that what I'm hearing?
Nori, if you ask
We-
around about that mushroom, you would find out that it is a barrel stock mushroom, or at least part of it. They typically are edible, and they oftentimes contain water. That's why it was so squishy when you closed it in your book, that water can oftentimes be consumed for survival purposes.
They're edible, but it was acidic and destroyed my book pages.
Yep, there was
Spicy.
more than, you didn't like clean it off, so there's like some sort of it has to be sort of prepared, and the skin of it is protective, but inside there is water and edible flesh.
Okay.
Don't eat the rind.
Exactly.
But I bet the skin could be used for some kind of acidic poison. I'm going to ask Willow about this.
What do you want to do? I'll put up 60.
Gold? Wait,
Yeah.
no.
What's going on? What are we putting up money for?
Lachlan wants horses. Ponies.
What's a horse?
Well, you know,
I
we're
mean, are
always
your legs
looking at it.
tired?
I mean, I guess we
No.
could. Like you said, how much? It was 30
30.
silver or 30 gold?
30 gold.
30 gold a piece.
Mm-hmm.
Now, are they just going to get eaten? Because
Probably.
if
Well, you
they
can
go,
always sell them.
We're scared to buy tents.
but yeah, we
Guys are scared of all the things that we need.
I know, but
Every-
that's
every
because you
time.
know the
You
world
guys
is
are
hard.
traumatized. What happened to you guys? You're so traumatized.
I saw some
Yeah.
shit before I got here. And
I
then we
guess
saw
so.
We can't
Shit.
own nice things.
Including the Kapapa Bloss. We could buy them and then sell them once we get to the next town, or we could look if there's a coach. Maybe there's like a coach or something we could grab a seat on and cut off a few days. There might be something that goes nearby.
Man, I wish we had a teleport circle.
If we took a coach, what's the next big city that it would drop us off at? Is that
Big city?
Nulb? Like, it's not gonna.
Well, you know what?
What's
That's
the route
great,
here?
That's a great question, Shelly. Let's go ahead and bring up the map. What do you say? Let's bring up the Anna B. Meyer map. Look at this beautiful map, everybody. Let's put a link in here to Anna B. Meyer's website. Go check out Anna's stuff. Support her on Patreon if you have the potential and the possibility and the means of doing so. Yeah, so here is the map. Let's zoom in a little bit. You are here, Namburil. So Namburil is right in the middle here. If you're looking on the stream, I've got it up. So if you're heading west, we'd probably go north to Stobenwich. There's potential that it would go south through Twilight Falls and Nulb. However, the stuff that's been going on in Twilight Falls is known. Remember when you got to Namburil, they were like telling you don't go west, like stay away from Twilight Falls. So it might be difficult to get a coach to go that way at this time because they modify their routes or they amplify their security precautions. So if you found a coach that was passing through or leaving Namburil that was well armored and protected, then perhaps it would probably be rather expensive to book passage on something like that because of the cost that they have to pay for the security detail. But it's possible.
Well, what about then finding a merchant or someone who's going that way and hitching a ride with them?
That's a possibility as well.
Saying that, we'll protect the caravan in exchange for a free ride.
It's entirely possible. I mean, you could maybe talk to Bixwick and see if he can hook you up with some sort of an arrangement.
Yeah, that could be a thing.
Or if you're going east, it would be probably towards Tricaster, which is, if you can see my little cursor here, it's up on the right side of the map on stream
But
there.
we want to be going towards where the
Yeah, you
Willow
guys want to
said
go
that
west.
she could maybe cure Des. And she's the first person that we found who said that was a possibility.
But do we have what we need for that?
She didn't tell us what we needed yet, right, Des?
Yeah, she told me. Let me check my notes.
It was a diamond.
We
I
got
think it was
diamonds.
worth 100 gold. And we have one of those.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just that we need a diamond that I could turn into, or that they could turn into dust. I think.
Well, I mean, that's not easy to do either. Like, do we have to bring it as dust, or does she have like a dust grinder, diamond grinder?
I don't know, but usually they can, you know, if you're high enough level smarts to, you know, actually cure somebody with that, you would know how to get it.
I'm just
into
I'm just
dust.
thinking if we go all the way there and we go, here's the diamond, and she's like, oh, you didn't bring the grinder, and then we have to trek back the fuck out. You know, that could be good to know. Did she tell you, bring me a diamond, or did she say, bring me diamond dust?
Oh, you
She
met-
sounded way cuter than that.
Yeah, she was totally like a nice, like, lady who just happened to live in the forest, not like the creepy hag that lives in the forest.
Yeah, no,
No, no.
she was creepy.
Yeah, she was the nicest forest dwelling person that we've met so far.
I can't argue that, but it's still a fallacious statement.
Her geniality aside, I mean, we don't know one way or the other if she needs it ground, dusted.
Yeah, it's diamond
We
dust
just gotta
worth
bring it.
100 gold worth of diamond dust.
Correcting for inflation, of course. That was like 100 gold back in 569. It's 579 now. So, you know,
Yeah.
you gotta. It's basic,
We
you know,
gotta hurry
Greyhawk
because the diamond's
economics.
depreciating.
Yeah, we gotta.
Economy.
Okay, so
Like my salary as a teacher.
Like all of our salaries. Anyway, so let's head on back.
Let's go get
At
drunk.
least- Sure, let's get drunk first. And learn to read. Let's
Go back, get drunk, learn to
Bring-
read,
Right.
and learn
do
about
some
the alphabet.
fingertip stuff, and then we'll leave.
Wow. Okay, so
Somehow.
you guys definitely have your priorities straight. So that's good. I love it. So here's what we're gonna do. We are gonna do all of that great stuff. You guys are going to go to the inn, book yourselves rooms. You are going to have a bit of relaxation. You'll have conversations with Bixwick, who can, you know, try to help you out with any arrangements that you might want to make. Not guaranteed that you would be able to quickly find, you know, a caravan or that sort of thing if you're looking to leave the following day. But if you're willing to stick around, he could probably find you some work along those lines. If you want, here's what we'll do before we go to break. We'll go around the table, and each of you just kind of tell me what your character and what you would want to do with your night in Namburil. We'll do, if we need to, we'll make some quick rolls. We'll go to break, and then we come back. We will do the travel back to Thornhaven Outpost. Sound good? Okay, so let's go ahead and start with Nori. Nori, what would you like to do with the night?
Okay, well, obviously Nori would like to do some finger stuff. Also, she would talk to Bixwick about maybe at the same time as the finger stuff, how to we don't even know where we're going yet, but to perhaps somehow coordinate a way to get to the place we're gonna go.
To add charisma roll to that because of the fingers.
Because it's finger stuff. I'm playing
All right, so
my bird pipes. That's what the finger stuff is.
yeah, she's got some pipes that she fingers. So it's all good, Shelly. We got you. Everybody knows what you're talking about in the chat, so it's no big deal. All right, so look, you're gonna talk to Bixwick. You're gonna play your flute, your pipes. So you play the pipes. It's a fantastic performance. If you set out a hat, I don't know if you do, but you would potentially gather
sure.
some. Yep. Give me a D100 roll.
Oh gosh. Okay. Seven.
Okay, so you're able to get in a sorted coin 7 gold pieces worth of tips for your playing. It's very festive. People are really enjoying it. There's people dancing. You know, it's a good vibe. Bixwick has some time to chat with you. You know, he's talking to you about, you know, potential for getting more gigs. He really, you know, he's sorry that things didn't go well with the Flicker Fern job. But, you know, don't be discouraged. He's like trying to build you up. Like, don't be discouraged. There's other jobs that we could do. You know, I've been looking for some folks to represent, and, you know, so he's kind of like, and he's starting to now transition to selling his services a little bit. Like, he can help connect you with people in the region if need be, you know, and so you get a sense that he could potentially be an asset in the future that could potentially help you out with things if you're in this town again. Okay. And he does travel quite a bit. So, you know, there's a likelihood that you might see him. You know, he's been to Hamlet, for example, a couple of times. He's been through Nulb, and he has nothing nice to say about Nulb. Of course, he felt uncomfortable there the whole time. But he's worked around the area, so he knows people. So you get the sense that he'd be a good asset for you, potentially in the future. He does not have any specific security jobs that are leaving town to put you on for the next, you know, journey west. So that wouldn't work out at this time. But if you wanted to stick around for a few days, he might be able to find you some work.
Okay. I will not confirm any plans until I talk to my people, but would definitely appear interested in these opportunities.
Okay. All right. So you get some good information from him. You feel like you've sort of made a little bit of a bond with him. So you kind of have that as a potential asset in the future. How about Xanthi?
Xanthi is going to make good on her, like, trying to teach Lachlan how to read, because we've been so busy and, you know, like, just not being murdered, and just being exhausted that really haven't gotten past the beautiful little, like, primer that she drew up one evening. So she's gonna take a whack at it.
Okay. Give me a performance check. And this isn't like a performance as if you're like performing some sort of a theatrical thing. It's more about like your performance in helping to educate or like teach him, walk him through some of the nuances of the, you know, reading and that sort of thing.
Okay. 7.
Okay. You know, it's been a long day and there's been a lot going on, but you do your best. Lachlan, give me an intelligence check as you are working, you know, as diligently as you decide you want to on this. Let me ask you this. Are you actively like really trying to learn Lachlan from her? Okay, yeah, then give me the roll.
Yeah, it's definitely like one of his main driving goals for sure.
Okay.
So 14.
Okay, so despite maybe Xanthi not feeling great about how you're explaining some things, you're getting a little flustered, you can still see like things are starting to click for Lachlan. And Bleak, you can go ahead and put a success mark in your literacy skill building. Okay, so you
Right,
feel pretty good. Gesundheit,
Sorry.
as they say in Dwarvish. Is there anything else?
This is like the first time Xanthi has really like tried to teach anyone anything.
Yeah,
Oh.
It's maybe a little
Looks
bit
like you're good at it.
roll. Yeah.
7 is good at.
Well, it's working because Lachlan is feeling pretty good about, you know, what he's picking up tonight. So is there anything else, Xanthi, that you would want to do before we move over to Lachlan?
Yeah, she's just gonna, you know, eat a bunch of pie and have a couple beers.
Okay. Yeah, and you through the night, you know, it's pretty social here. So people are coming up to you and talking to you and treating you. You know, the hospitality is nice. People are open to having conversations, and so you have like cute little interactions with some of the gnomish folk. And you don't see, of course, Nesvin You don't see Eastless Flickerfern. You don't see Bartleby Stonebrow or any of those folks, but you do have a chance to talk. And none of the people that you talk to, aside from Bixwick, who spends a little bit of time with all of you, you don't get the sense that anybody knows anything about what happened. It's you know, or they all signed NDAs. Who knows? But we will now jump over to Lachlan. Lachlan, aside from the studying a little bit, you know, what else? Is there anything else that you'd want to accomplish before?
Yeah, the only thing really is like definitely the studying thing. We'll get that done. The other thing too is that what happened in the cave, I think, affected Lachlan a little bit. Like that, the fact that he had kind of been willing to risk everybody else's life, that's kind of unlike him, and I think he's kind of reflecting on that a little bit. So once we're done with the teachings, he'll probably like take some time to go and sit alone a little bit and kind of think on that a little bit, what that means, and kind of like, you know, what he feels has been happening with him in the past few, you know, weeks or whatever. And yeah, so just some quiet contemplation on his own.
Okay, so maybe stepping outside.
Yeah.
Yep. You can see as you're outside, Lachlan, that in the distance there are streaks of lightning flashing in the sky as if there's a storm on the horizon. You don't hear any thunder. It's far too far away for that, but you can see just these momentary flashes of these innervating lines of energy that come down from the sky and light up the horizon a little bit, almost as if there's an acknowledgement in your reflection.
Cool. Yeah, you'll definitely spend some time looking at that and sort of just, you know, taking a little bit of spiritual comfort from that and trying to understand, you know, kind of decipher sort of what it all means.
Okay. All right.
Yep.
How about for Desmond?
Des is gonna spend some time hanging out, eating, drinking, and seeing how Bixwick is somewhat of a entrepreneuring business person. He's gonna ask him if he'd be willing to be part of a messaging, cross-country messaging system that Des wants to put in place, that he wants to set up.
Oh my god, this is such a good idea. You should totally do that. Like, they don't have, like, you know, anybody who delivers messages anywhere in this entire, like,
well, here's the thing.
It's
gonna be more discreet than that. It's gonna be like, you don't really know who the messengers are. That way they can't be robbed on the road.
So
but anyway, there'd be some gold in it for you.
Gold, okay. And, how do I get paid?
You get paid when you deliver the message.
Would it be on delivery, or would it be from the people who are sending them?
You pass on messages, and
does it cover expenses? Is there like a stipend or anything of that nature if I'm having to make long distance journeys, for example?
Well, you know, like if you could, you know, take several messages, you could get paid for every message. So that could be lucrative.
I mean, we're just getting started, but you know, it'd be a good source of some, you know, income for you.
How much does it pay then?
A bag of leather.
let's just get to brass tacks.
I didn't think about it that far.
I don't know. You could do a gold piece for a letter or two, and like they're light.
Are they written messages?
Yeah. Just like written messages, information being transported back and forth, but privately, not like a big service, not a big to-do.
I understand. Discretion is my middle name. Actually, it's Herbert, but you get the drift. Would you be willing, and this I'm just negotiating with you now because I love the idea and I do need a variety of sources of income, and perhaps I could help with growing the network a little bit, but a pony would be nice, and it would allow me to to move quicker. Maybe we could call it like the Pony Express or something of that nature.
I like it. Anything with ponies is great.
Yeah,
My Little Pony would be wonderful.
I think I could make that happen. Sure.
My Little Pony Express.
How will you inform me when a message is to be delivered?
Well, do you do business out of the inn here?
I kind of fancy myself as a business in and of myself. So wherever I happen to be is where the business takes place.
Well, you know, the person that brings you the message will have you as a contact. And, you know, most people seem to know you around here.
Yeah, they do. Well, I'm interested.
Okay. So you do it for a horse,
Well, a pony,
a pony.
I would say, and then maybe a retainer, perhaps. Keep me kind of, you know, at the ready. Yes, a retainer would be nice. Maybe a 5 gold retainer, 30 gold for a pony, and in payment on delivery of said messages. I think I like this idea.
Yeah, sounds good.
Sounds expensive.
So you're gonna slide over a little pouch of coin for him.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Des has 12 gold on him, but he's gonna hopefully be able to spend the other gold.
Very well.
So pony is 30 gold, and then he wanted 5 gold for a retainer.
Mm-hmm.
Give
So
him
that's
a
like
little tip.
35 gold.
Oh, I don't need a tip, but
We're not buying the pony tonight. I'm not here.
where are you?
You're playing.
Where's Nori? She is talented with the fingers, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, she's the total package.
Boy, is she. All right, so we'll work out the arrangements of this, you know, offline. But you and McCready, he kind of reaches his hand over and he says, "Deal. Bixquick,
Right.
Herbert McCready is at your service." He shakes your hand. So you also now have a contact who is actually kind of under your employ in a sense. And the rest of the night goes on. Is there anything else that you would want to do, Desmond, before we jump over to our break?
No, that's pretty much it. Other than working out the details of the business with Bixwick.
Yeah, the two of you over a couple of flagons of ale. You know, there's some parchment. He just happens to have some parchment and some ink and a quill. And, you know, you're kind of like a little bit of a contract being developed. You're kind of sketching things out on a piece of scratch parchment and sort of kind of figuring out the nature of this nascent network of message carriers. All right, cool. I love that idea. It also ties in, I think, to your background a little bit, doesn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, which is good. Okay. So with that said, the rest of the night is really fun for you guys. You're able to sort of let loose a little bit. You release a little bit of your stress that you've had. You are able to get a long rest over the night. And when we come back from our break, we'll dive into what happens when you return. We'll kind of fast track to Thornhaven Outpost, and we'll jump in there. And so we'll be back in just a couple of minutes, folks. Thank you all for hanging out. Thanks for the gift subs and for the follows. And you guys, if you are interested, we are giving away some loot tonight. We're giving away CZRPG's Amazing Encounters and Places bundle, which are some encounters and adventures plus a bunch of maps. Really nice stuff. And we are helping CZRPG to promote their Kickstarter. They're kickstarting a new bundle of content. I'm looking for the image here. Where is it? Here it is. Their Amazing Encounters and Locations, which is a companion to their second Kickstarter. I'm really excited to see it. It's already been funded, and so there's still some time for you to get involved with helping make that a reality. So thank you all for being here. We will be back in just a couple of short minutes. Appreciate you guys all. We'll see you shortly. All right, you guys, look, you guys travel a long frickin' way. You make your, it's a multi-day journey. You didn't buy any ponies.
So expensive.
All of this, and we didn't buy ponies.
That's okay.
Very typical.
Bixwick got a pony out of the deal.
Bixwick got a pony.
Those ponies would have just gotten eaten probably anyway.
Well, you can
Saved
always
them.
eat your ponies too.
Sorry,
I mean,
we need an
food.
ability to send messages to people.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's a cool like side business venture.
Yeah.
Like,
You just gotta work
and
out the
maybe
details.
now they'll have mail couriers. Like you could send messages
the
up and
pony-
down the road.
It's the beginning of the Pony Express.
Mm-hmm.
My Little Pony Express.
Right.
No, I mean there are couriers that can be hired to transport messages along. Not everybody has the means of magical communication. So as you can imagine, in a world like this, there would be messages being sent between cities, important people sending messages and collaborating with each other on business dealings or other dealings. But to have your own sort of your own network, perhaps, that is designed for a singular purpose is kind of a cool idea. And maybe you can moonlight on the side of doing legit courier work as well. So anyhow,
Mm-hmm.
Yep,
Then you can tell people check is in the mail.
that's right. All right, so my friends, you find yourselves eventually returning to Thornhaven Outpost. Now, if you guys remember, this is the Green Jerkins' main base of operations, although they're the actual the head of the Green Jerkin Rangers is in a distant town to the north, nevertheless, and that's up at Stalmere. But in this particular area, which is not too far outside of Twilight Falls, they do have what's called Thornhaven Outpost, which is this wooden palisade, sturdy, reinforced walls, very secure location on a hill that overlooks the forest, the gnarly forest. You can see as you approach the waving green banners fluttering in the wind. You can see it being well guarded. The entrance, a single gate, 2 rangers clad in their green jerkins and armed with bows stand guard. And as you approach, it doesn't seem like you recognize these individuals, but after explaining who you are, they usher you inside. And eventually, after setting your gear down in one of the bunk tents, which you've stayed in before, you do see some like Selen. You see Selen, who is one of the rangers who was helpful for you when you had initially brought Chiral to the Rangers for protection after rescuing her from Gromlin in Twilight Falls. So you see Selen, is really happy to see you. He sets up an opportunity for you to speak with Isaac. If you recall, Isaac Finley is the leader here in this particular outpost. And eventually you sit down in Isaac's tent. It's modest. It's not opulent by any stretch of the imagination. This is very much a functional outpost. And so he welcomes you in, and you sit down, and he says, I thought perhaps you dead. It's been weeks. Tell me what has transpired. What news do you bring from the east, where the dark druids dealt with? I have so many questions.
Let me tell you, it's been a fucking journey.
So first
I'm
off,
listening.
you're welcome. Anthraxis did not descend upon the world, and we have averted, temporarily perhaps, an apocalypse.
Anthraxis. I do not know of this. And you can see he pulls out a little journal and he's writing some notes down.
Yeah, we interrupted some kind of ritual where they were summoning this massive Anthraxis creature from a tree.
So evil.
Were you able to tease from them their reasoning, their motivation for doing this? Do you think it has anything to do with what's been happening to the West? Well, you probably don't know what's been happening to the West.
Well, okay, so like there were like these weird crystals that maybe like were glowing, and I think they were the Sulfides.
You mean the
And
comet?
They kind of disappeared once, the ritual failed. Oh, and here's the best part. So Ignis, he was the one who was kind of like doing all this bad stuff.
That bastard.
And Anthraxis dragged him back into the tree. It was so cool.
He got what he deserves. Now, do we know
The tree
that
sealed up.
So the creature is trapped? This is interesting indeed.
Well, they can't get out now.
Well, yeah, for
For
now. Yeah.
Yeah, once we jumped out of there, the comet disappeared. Right?
It
Sulfides disappeared.
seemed very organized.
And it seemed like when we came back from this place we were fighting them, there was another battle outside, but we never figured out what happened outside.
Yeah, we don't know. Something happened outside. Like there's another group there or something.
How long ago did this happen? You guys have been gone probably at this point. I would say it's probably been 4 weeks since you left Twilight Falls. Almost a month in game.
So
This
it
happened
takes
like
about a
2 weeks
week.
out.
a week. Yeah. A week ago this happened, or 2
Our
weeks ago?
agents
It's
to
probably
the
been like
west
3
have
weeks, yeah.
our agents to the west have brought news that an army from Verbobonk has amassed near Nulb.
An army.
Yes, to deal with some sort of incident at the temple. The temple,
Wait.
which had been occupied.
The Temple of Elemental Evil?
Yes. An army has laid a siege upon the temple, and not more than a week ago, word was sent back to us from our couriers that they had succeeded in stopping some terrible evil from emerging from the temple itself. I wonder if these two things are linked.
You know who's in charge of this army? Who's leading it?
A mage named Byrne.
Ah, we know him.
Hey,
We know him.
Burn.
Oh, like from Burning the Badgers.
Right,
Yes, the Burns Badgers. Yes, they have backing from the Crown in Verbo City. Apparently
Finally.
they have.
Fuck.
Yes, indeed. We have been hunting down the accomplices of Ignis, hoping to gather additional insight into what these dark druids had planned to do with this Anthraxis. You say is the name Anthraxis. We'll have to investigate this. My employers have put us on high alert to keep an eye on things and to step in with Ignis, but it looks as though you have dealt with this already, which is good. Some of the other druids in his circle have disappeared as of late, and we hope to hunt them down. If there's any additional information that you may have gathered from Ignis that could help us in this quest, it is curious to find out what they had planned and what the connection might be between this Anthraxis and the siege of the temple.
Oh, I did get this really interesting rubbing. She like pulls out from her bag of holding the brief rubbing she did of those pillars. So it's kind of like fast and dirty. So they were like these pillars around that like had some very kind of sketchy iconography on them.
Yes.
She points
He
at
looks
things.
it over, and he's like, I don't recognize any of this work, although you do quite nice artistry. This is quite beautiful in a very troubling way. I don't quite understand it. Can you make sense of it?
No, I wasn't really sure what it meant, which is why I just did a quick little, impression of it, and I thought I would take it to someone who might know better.
Well,
These standing stones were found a seed also.
Oh, that's right. Oh, we were going to take it to Willow to see if she knew
Yeah.
what it was.
a seed at the center of the standing stones. Yes, Willow
Yeah.
would be one to perhaps be able to understand what this is. I can tell you that the resurgence of evil has, for the moment, been put down. It appears from the communiques that we've had from Burns Badgers that there was an effort by evil men, orcs, goblins, and the like, gnolls, to raise Zagutmoy from her prison, the queen of fungi, the demon queen. It appears as though her emergence has been stayed for now.
Now, does she look like, and Xanthe will start describing that mass hallucination that we all had of that creature on the throne that said, "For now."
He listens to you describe it, and did you say you have an illustration of it or no?
No, not of
You just
that.
describe
Like,
it.
I will just describe that one.
Yes. One moment. He gets up and he goes over to a chest that he has, and he opens it up and he reaches in and pulls out this leather-bound book that looks very, very old, and he opens it up, and it basically shows almost an exact replica of what you just described, and it is indeed the Demon Queen of Fungi. I believe
that's
that to
totally
be-
her.
You had a vision of her.
Yeah, I did. After everything kind of like subsided and Anthraxis got pulled back into the tree, then I swear I saw this creature, this fungal queen, and she said, "For now," and it was very creepy.
Yes, she is said to spend her days on the 222nd layer of the abyss, but for some reason she has not once but twice attempted to emerge onto the material plane, using this ancient temple as a nexus point for her evil plot. It is unclear to anyone that we've spoken with what the motivation is, but it cannot be good. Suffice it to say, we have put down, possibly with your help, this re-emergence.
Well, there was that giant mushroom creature in Twilight Falls on the island.
we took care of that one too, Mother. She was super bad.
Yeah.
But
There
I
has
guess
been
conceivably smaller than this fungal queen.
Well, and we had detected infestation of some of the forest trees with the strange fungus as well, and there were reports of people coming down with a strange rash in and around the temple location. All of these things potentially are linked together. But we have noticed in recent days a quiet upon the gnarly forest, a serenity that we have not felt in months, if not longer.
Well, you are welcome.
Yeah, we all almost died.
You have a real evil entity rising problem in this area. I don't know if you've ever, sat down and kind of taken a look at the big picture and realized there's a lot going on.
There is a lot going on, and it is strange that it would be centered upon this region.
Well, you got something called the Temple of Elemental Evil in this region, so I would think that.
Yeah, that can't be good. You really should think about maybe dismantling that.
Yeah.
Well, it is a prison now, and it has, until recent days and weeks, has been secure. in only 10 years ago, just before the Battle of Emerald Meadows, there was a host, the righteous host that put down the evil men, the wicked ones, and the gnolls and the orcs and the goblins that sought a resurgence of evil in the area. And we had all perhaps become complacent in the idea that we had put that evil demon queen of fungi to rest and sealed her away. But certainly it is a vulnerable point. Your point, my dwarven friend, is well taken, that this should be kept under close observation going forward. This is not something to be trifled with. If there has been one attempt to release Zugatmoy from her prison, who's to say that there won't be more?
Well, I mean, look, I'm not gonna lie to you. It's not like we did all these things very purposefully. We kind of mostly stumbled through, and then, you know, by hook and by crook and by almost dying, we kind of just accidentally solve a lot of these issues. But yeah, a few of them got put away, so hopefully it helps you guys.
It helps many. You should consider yourselves perhaps heroes in this quest.
Yeah, we're still working on that part.
It is a lifelong endeavor, for sure. To be clear, there has been also, I should mention, some changes in Twilight Falls.
Yeah.
Perhaps things that you would be...
Twilight Falls.
We have been keeping a close watch as in the aftermath of the inferno that took down some of the storage capabilities of the Black Hand. Their leader, this Gromlin character, is apparently deposed and has gone missing. Some believe that he and his wife have fled to Sobenwich, but others believe that they were killed, perhaps by the Black Hand themselves. There is some new management afoot in the town, but it seems disorganized for the moment. We are keeping an eye on it as we regain our men that we sent to support the efforts in Nulb at the temple. It is likely that we will need to bring more from Thalmir to help keep an eye on things for quite some time. Usually we've kept eyes on the waterways and the forest between here and Stalmir, but perhaps having an outpost constructed near the temple itself, perhaps funded by the crown itself, and manned by a contingent of jerkins and badgers, an alliance of sorts, could prove to be a good approach.
You know, I think that a lot of those, bandit types would be willing to switch to another kind of occupation if it, could pay their bills. There are a lot of bandits said that they were starving.
That is good. When confronted with an option to go legit, those with just an inkling of conscious decision-making would choose to be on the side of righteousness, I would say. I would like to think that anyways, but I have been proven wrong time and time again with the people of this region. But I do appreciate your optimism.
Well,
So
you got to try.
You don't know who's in charge in Twilight Falls right now.
It's unclear. A human that's unknown to us. We do have individuals embedded in the community that will hopefully be reporting out as things develop. But suffice it to say that we will be taking a more active role in disrupting whatever plans the Black Hand has for this region, as their connection with these dark druids has been revealed. And once we have captured
supporting them.
Yes, and once we have captured some of Ignis's accomplices, perhaps more will be revealed on that connection and the true nature of their motivation.
No, never mind. I was going to say, did you think the Sulfides was connected to something? Like just the Temple of Elemental Evil? like location-wise? Like, is it like evil, you know, ley lines or?
It is beyond my ken to understand the astronomical elements, and it is unclear to me, who has not studied these things, what that connection could be. But I do know from the folklore and from speaking with many peoples in the aftermath of the comet's appearance, not 3 years prior, that they believe it to be some sort of a harbinger, an omen, if you will, of something catastrophic. Now, whether these are old rumors and folktale, or if there's some truth to them, it's unclear. But with what's happened in the region as of late, I would be remiss if I didn't give it at least some nod of possible truth. Troubling to say the least. There could be more information about this Sylphides in some of the larger cities. I'm thinking of the Free City of Greyhawk, for example, or even Verbobonk, which have great libraries and people of great knowledge who could answer these questions that you have.
Okay, yeah, if we ever get back to a big city, we'll look in a library. Have you seen the Willow around here anywhere?
Willow Whisperwind spends her days to the north of here, just a day and a half journey in her grove. We have not seen her since she was here to help with Shiral's illness. I should mention that Shiral herself has departed in your absence and has headed to Hamlet.
Oh, good. I thought you were going to say she died.
Sometimes departed isn't the right word when you're concerned about someone dying.
Yes,
I mean, her health was
agreed.
kind of poor.
And still is. I believe she is still at risk to some extent, but she was insistent that she travel back to the grove in Hamlet to pay respects to her guidance to Jeru Ashstaff. It appears as though perhaps she will take up the Druid's Grove as her own and continue to protect that area.
Well, what's left of it, a lot of it burned down.
Well, as we have learned in our days here in the gnarly forest, fire can oftentimes cleanse the forest, and it oftentimes will grow back even healthier than it was before. So we can hold hope that the same will happen in the Grove of Ashstaff. Time will tell. But have hope as best you can.
Glad we could help out whenever we did. We certainly kind of did it more by accident, but you know, the end result that counts. Not the fact that we almost died 27 times doing it.
This seed that you mention, may I see it?
Are you an expert on seeds?
No, but I do have a curiosity of it.
They do watch over a grove.
I guess. Yeah, she'll reach into her bag of holding and actually wait. She'll do that and then she'll take her hand out and then she'll like wrap it in some cloth and then put her hand back in and pull out the seed and show the druid the seed.
Xanthi, as you reach into your bag to grab the seed, you put your handkerchief or whatever over your hand, excuse me, your cloth, and you find strangely that the seed is in the hand of the doll.
Why are they touching? Oh god. Ugh.
Why do they're hanging out now?
I don't know.
Is
Why?
everything okay?
All right, so I may have a cursed doll in here.
Why would
But
you carry
it's
around
only
a
because
cursed
I
doll?
don't know how to get rid of it. and I don't want to like just let it loose upon the land.
It'll
Burn it.
follow us wherever we go.
It's very creepy. It like its eyes open and close, and it's just very unsettling.
Perhaps you should bury it somewhere, or burn it and bury the ashes in multiple locations across the land, or sever the head and the arms and the legs and bury them in different locations or something.
Have you done something like that before?
No, but a cursed doll. Why would you carry around a cursed doll? How long have you had this thing?
Months.
It's kind of new. We just keep it in the bag there, so it can't really do anything.
Yeah, so it's can't breathe, which is super creepy.
Troubling.
I think there's some satisfaction and safety in knowing where it is.
And
Right, when
everyone
it's in there,
knows
it's
that
not staring
that
at you.
things can't come out of a magic bag without anyone taking them out.
As
So-
far as you know.
Did you say that?
Did I say that? I did.
Or did the doll say it?
Did the doll make you say it?
Daddy.
Put it back
What?
in
Did you hear that?
No.
Dad, shut up.
You show him the seed and he doesn't touch it. He just looks at it in your hand as you kind of hold
I
it
don't
up.
know if you should touch it.
No, I don't intend to. And he just looks at it and says,
How
That's
did we find it
peculiar.
again? It was like covered with blood or something.
Oh,
It
it
was
was
on
in the middle
fire.
of a
on
ritual,
fire.
and then yeah, it was on fire, and then Nori kicked over the.
It was like a focus of
Addition that
some
was a
ritual
seed.
they were doing.
It was around all of the standing stones that depicted different
Mhm.
things that you saw the rubbings of.
Yeah, like horrible, horrible things. So I mean, it could be just a magical thing that is being used for a bad thing, or it could be a bad thing.
Well, yeah, I mean, we just figured we'd hold on to it.
Right, like the cursed
Get it
doll. We
identified
just
and
don't
then-
want it to fall into the wrong hands.
Maybe
Mhm.
we'd know a little bit more about their ritual.
We definitely thought Willow would know something about it.
she would be the best person to speak with, indeed. Put it away, please. I don't know anything about it, and it kind of creeps me out. Now that you've told me where you found it.
Here you go, creepy doll. Here's your
Daddy!
feedback.
We never
Always-
did name the doll, eh?
No.
At every angle, it's always like looking at you, no matter where. Like
Even if
know,
you're behind it.
even if you're behind it, you
Yeah.
still feel like it's watching you.
Unless its
'Cause
eyes
it
are
is.
closed. And then they open by themselves.
Okay, you're starting to scare me a bit. Perhaps we can change to the next topic.
There, next topic.
I don't know. Is there anything else
Anything
that I
else you
can
get?
help
Anything
you
else
with,
you
or
need? Anything else you need?
I can't think of it. If you intend to travel to Willow's Grove, I'd be happy to provide you with directions and an escort if you'd like it.
Oh, that would be great. We should.
Could
Weird.
do you have any horses that we could ride up there? Lachlan was
We do have some
He's tired of
horses.
interested in.
walking.
He's got sore legs, I think,
He's
from
got
all the
like
shirt
he
ripping
doesn't
that
wear
he's been
socks,
doing.
and I think there's a lot of chafing happening.
Probably a lot of chafing. I don't know if it's related to socks.
I think socks really do help.
If you have any horses, it would really help. I think for the short term, if we could borrow some.
Yeah, I mean, we have to come.
I have
right back
horses that
through
you can
here.
borrow if you return them. They are in short supply, but I'd be happy to loan them to you. You've done what I believe to be a heroic deed, and whatever connection there is between the Dark Druid's ritual and that which is happening in Nulb, it is too much of a coincidence to write it off as mere coincidence.
Certainly speed things up.
Well, you are welcome to spend the night here, or as many nights as you wish, to rest your weary bones before traveling to see Willow. That is certainly up to you. But my hospitality is extended to you. If there's anything that I can help you with or do for you, please let me know. And once again, thank you. And you are always welcome here at the Thornhaven Outpost, should you travel through these parts again, which for some reason I believe that we will see each other again. I have a hunch about these things.
as long as evil keeps trying to enter our plane, we will be trying to stop it.
We will.
I think so. I think that no matter where we go, it would be a bad idea if we let it enter.
Wherever evil rears its ugly head, we'll be there.
Right. The golden shears to cut off evil, right?
I like that name. Golden Shears.
The Golden Shears.
It's better than scissors, right?
I believe so.
Totally.
Well then, make yourselves comfortable. There's food, drink. Rest yourselves.
Man, it's so relaxing to not worry about being attacked by gnolls while we're sleeping or just like hanging out.
I even think I'm gonna pitch a tent and sleep in it tonight. Just to face the trauma of, and try to get over it.
You could probably sleep in a tent here.
I say face your fears.
Tents are terrifying.
We should
Pitch
ask
that
Isaac
tent
if
and
they
sleep
have
in it.
Yeah, we should ask Isaac if they got a tent, like a big tent that we could all just,
That would be great. I'll help you guys face your fears, since I'm not afraid of tents.
and if we put it behind us, that fear will be, past tense.
I don't know about you, but wherever
Wow.
you set up that tent, I'm going to be like 100 feet away, slightly behind a tree, watching the tent.
Sounds like a plan.
All right, so you guys depart from Isaac's tent. You find yourselves in a very safe place. This is a spot that you know well. Some of the Jerkins know you. You recognize some people. They don't know you, but they recognize you. You recognize them. Sillin is happy to answer any questions or make sure you're comfortable, or Sellen, I should say. But you also realize that there's a lot of different faces, and it seems as though perhaps there's a lot of travel through this area for the Jerkins. But you also know that they had sent people to assist with the siege in Nulb. So it may just be that there's more activity because of that need right now. So, but you are safe for the moment. You're free to kind of do whatever you need to do to prepare for your journey to go see Willow Whisper and Whisper Wind. If there's anything that you want to do in particular, now would be the time to do that. Would you spend a couple of days, do you think, here, or would you be wanting to go? You've just traveled a week, so there may be, I don't know what the urgency is for you to go see Willow or not, but that's up to you guys to decide.
Well, I mean, Des will feel somewhat eager to go see her, but I think he could wait a night or two. I was going to ask that along the trip to see the Jerkins, if it would be possible for Xanthi to cast identify on the sword and the dagger that I recovered off the drow.
One free one a day.
Yeah, just along the way.
Okay.
You mean detect magic to see if any of it's magical?
Yeah.
Well, no, I'm identify. Well, detect magic and identify.
Identify for the purposes of determining if they're magic or like.
Yeah, so you would
or not.
probably cast detect magic first just to see if they have any sort of enchantments on them. You do remember that the leader, this Faerith Duskrin, did have magical implements on them. As you cast detect magic, Xanthi, you can see that there is a glow from the dagger. But nothing else is magical. The sword itself and the dagger both are of exquisite make. They are razor sharp. You might even consider them in previous editions of Dungeons and Dragons as mastercraft. But the only thing that's magical that gives off a magical signature is the dagger. And when you cast Identify, you are able to determine that it is a +1 dagger.
Is it cursed?
Most definitely.
I don't know how to figure that out.
Well,
Like-
let's give it to Des. See
You
what
just use it for a little
Just see
while
what
and then you find
happens.
out.
Trial and error.
See if
Yeah.
he stabs any of us in the night.
Yeah, so if it whispers to you, usually that means it's
If it starts
bad.
talking,
Yeah,
That's
tell us right
it's
away.
a good policy.
Tell us
Put
right
it in
away.
the bag with the creepy doll.
Yeah, give the doll the dagger.
Or
There you
not.
So, like, what we should do is we should put all of our cursed items next to the doll and see which she picks up.
I wonder what this wand does. Let's give it to the doll, Wand of Orcus.
We're just never going to want to open this bag.
No.
Because who knows what's going to shoot out of it?
Well, yeah, that's true.
We should put the dagger in the bag, I think, though. It's best to keep it away from, Des.
they can't all be cursed. I mean, that guy was walking around with it, right?
I mean, how does one find out it's cursed, like, and without just touching it?
Attuning to it would be the most expedient way to determine if it's cursed.
Right, but is there
Sounds safe.
any other way?
Finding out if it's cursed would be the most expedient way to.
Well, it's not like it. Oh, I don't know.
It's probably fine.
It's probably fine.
It's probably fine.
What's the worst that can happen?
You're going to see Willow anyways. If it's cursed, just tell her, while we're at it.
Lift this one too.
How much diamond dust do you have? You better stockpile that shit.
Willow's going to have a huge collection of daggers by the end of this campaign. All from Des. There's not anything specific I want to do, but if we do spend the night here, I think I'll want to have a bit of a chat with the group at some point when we're sitting around the campfire or something. So if anyone wants to do some stuff, we can get that done first, maybe, and then.
Yeah, so let's do that. We'll come back to that, Bleak. Is there anything that the rest of you would want to accomplish, we'll say, between now and when you depart to go to see Willow? Anything in particular that you'd want to do, or anyone you'd want to talk to, or information you'd try to seek, or preparations you'd try to make? You'll definitely have some horses at your disposal for the trip to expedite the journey.
I think Des would just try to keep an ear out for any more information on Twilight Falls. If they can find out before they leave, like who's in charge or kind of any more about the situation there.
Okay, give me an investigation check.
Right. Pretty horrible. 10.
Okay. You pick up some rumors around the campfire on the evening when you're having chow and there's people, like relaxing. There's sort of this rotation of people who are able to sit by the fire and relax, and then they go up onto the wall for security purposes. There are patrols that leave and go out in all hours of the day. So there's patrols that are coming in around dinner time and those that are going out for the night. And you get the sense that there's quite a bit of activity, just patrol activity, and they go out in groups of 4 or 5. And there are multiple groups, but you pick up a little bit of information, not a ton beyond what you've already been told. With a 10, the one thing that you do hear kind of feels more like a rumor, and you're not sure if there's much truth to it necessarily, but somebody is talking about the Dark Riders who arrived in Twilight Falls shortly after the blaze. They call it the Inferno. And that's, of course, you guys know, is when all those buildings went up in flames when you escaped from Twilight Falls. Which you had nothing to do with, of course.
Well, I mean, it really wasn't us. It was that elemental assassin guy.
We
didn't light anything on
paths.
fire. Yeah, we were just there at the time that they showed up.
Yep.
I mean, we even lost a dude, a party member.
R.I.P.
So clearly
Spuggy.
we were not in league.
Gone but not forgotten.
Yeah, no shit. Pour a little bit of ale on the ground for Spuggy.
Yeah.
So you hear about these Black Riders or these Dark Riders, and you know or you hear And this would be corroborated with what you heard in Namburil, that they had been riding from the east to the west. So they had come from the east and had been riding towards Twilight Falls. And it appears as though they were part of the new management is what the word on at the outpost is. Which perhaps makes you think of some of the things you'd heard about people that were coming to Twilight Falls, some important VIP type people that were coming to Twilight Falls for some reason, which you sort of would assumed at one point that was either to collect Chiral or maybe gather more information from Chiral, or perhaps there was some other reason. The one thing that you
management has slid in to like fix the city.
Yeah.
Under new management.
It's under new management. The one thing that you think of Desmond as you're kind of putting these pieces together and considering it over an ale is that you remember back to when the two Burns Badgers were being handed over from the Knolls to the bandits at the Moat House. There was also a bundle, something that was wrapped up, that they had handed to the bandits as well. Those two Burns Badgers were never found, nor was the bundle. That's just a thought that comes to your mind as you're kind of putting all these pieces together and trying to kind of map out what's happened. Anybody else have anything that they would want to, Xanthi or Nori in particular?
Nori is kind of interested. We're kind of up in the area, I think, where those two shifty gnomes mentioned the dragon.
They were halflings.
Yep. They were halflings.
Were they halflings? Oops,
Yep.
sorry. And I was gonna maybe try to just listen in, see if anyone is talking about any dragon sightings, or anyone talking about anybody talking about dragon sightings up in these parts.
All right, give me an investigation check. You remember that the names of the halflings were Izzy and Finnegan.
Izzy and Finnegan.
Yep.
And they're halflings.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's a 1 plus 3.
Yeah, I rolled a 4 earlier.
Yeah, not
It's
not
been
the
a
greatest.
long couple weeks.
It has. So you're just kind of listening in, or do you actually try to like inquire?
I could inquire. Yeah,
Okay.
it's not a secret. I mean,
Yeah.
we'll
So
ask some
you
people.
inquire, and there are people are will talk with you about it. There is indeed a dragon that has been spotted. It's hard to tell where it's come from or what kind of dragon it is, but there are indeed 2 Green Jerkin Rangers who have been traveling about the countryside trying to ascertain where its lair is. And these 2 rangers are named Izzy and Finn.
Okay, cool. I would ask, when is the last time that we've seen them?
They were in the Thornhaven Outpost not more than a week ago.
And did we learn anything about where they...
They didn't have much to
The lair?
report other than that they still have a lot of tracking to do. And that's kind of their sole mission, those 2. That's what you learn, is that they've been tasked with trying to figure out where this dragon's lair is.
Where were
Because
they headed
it's
next?
very troubling. To the north.
Where we're headed. Further than where we're headed.
Well, it depends on where you're going. So if we go back to the map real quick, let's see if I can bring that up. There it is.
We're just going to Willows, so like
Yeah.
a day
So
or two.
yeah,
Yeah.
you're not going that far. So here we are in Twilight Falls in the middle of the map. They're off somewhere to the north. Obviously, it's kind of highlighted that there's a region here with that dragon, but Yeah, you guys are going to be closer to Twilight Falls. But yes, they are off to the north, and they've sort of been given, what's the word I'm looking for? They've been given the resources that they need to be able to just focus on that issue. It's an issue that's of concern to the Green Jerkin Rangers for sure.
Has this dragon ever bothered the Jerkins?
You don't know. Nobody has any stories of it causing any real trouble, although it is new to the region. And from what people tell you about their knowledge, which may be limited relative to dragon lore, is that there's a pretty good likelihood that that things are gonna happen if there's a dragon that's trying to set up a regional lair in this area. Maybe it's just passing through. What they want to know is there a lair, and is it hanging out here, and is it going to cause trouble? Could have just passed through, but it's their duty to keep an eye on these types of things in particular. But with a one, you don't really, with that natural one, you don't really get much else.
Okay. Also, I'm going to make sure my book is in order because I'm going to show it to Willow. My pressing book.
Nice. Okay, great. Xanthi, was there anything you wanted to accomplish or anything, or?
She's just going along for the ride right now. She doesn't have anything really important for herself. She wants to help Des get his curse lifted, or help Nori with her quest. But for now, she's just kind of like hanging out, journaling, and
anything
relaxing.
In particular that you're journaling about, just out of curiosity?
She is gonna draw out that symbol that she saw on the necklace of
Isolus?
Flickerfern.
Mm-hmm.
And she's gonna also like draw some stuff about the weird creature that attacked Nori. I think she saw the corpse before, because like I think he died before Xanthi like got her sight back.
I think so too.
So it's just like a drawing of like a weird corpse creature. But yeah, just it's low key for her.
Okay, gotcha. All right, let's move over to Lachlan. Lachlan, my friend, what would you, as things are settling in and the night is kind of winding down, the fire is still burning, there's still people about the fire, your friends are all gathered around you.
Yeah, I think, like I was saying earlier, I think Lachlan's been thinking about a lot of stuff, and at some point when we're sort of sitting there and the conversations maybe died down a little bit, I think Lachlan will say, I've talked often about being out on the water, being out on the sea, and I know it's strange for a dwarf to do that, but it's what I did, and there's something about the horizon that just always called to me once my family and I moved to the coast rather than living in a mountain. You've seen what I can do with lightning. You've felt the presence of the one I call Stormcrow several times. I can't explain who or what Stormcrow is. I don't really know. But I met Stormcrow one night. We were out at sea, and the weather had just been absolutely terrible, and not terrible in the sense of storms, but just there was no wind blowing, sun was beating down, there was no cloud cover for days. We were just sitting dead in the water for almost a week. People were starting to kind of lose their minds. Just that sun just baking us all the time and not having a wisp of wind. one night I saw something weird on the forecastle. I saw a strange dark man with what looked like feathers, and I don't know why, but I thought of storms then, and I thought maybe this is an omen, you know. Maybe this is someone or something telling us what we need to do to get moving again. And so the next night, when people were sleeping, and by that point people were just drinking regularly, we'd gotten into the rum stock and it was just kind of out of control. And anyways, that night I went out to that forecastle where I saw that man, and I just got on my knees, and I never prayed in my life before, but I just started calling out to him. And I don't know why I called him Stormcrow. It was just the name that came to my mind, but I prayed to him and I implored him to send us wind and a bit of rain so that we could restock on fresh water and we could move and get the hell out of there and return to land and our families. And somewhere far in the distance, I heard the peal of thunder. And I thought, these are literally the words that I thought, I've just saved everyone. And I went back to bed feeling pretty happy with myself. That night, one of the worst storms I've ever seen crashed on us. The mast split in half. We lost all the rigging, the boards, and the whole started splintering. The sound a boat makes when it splits in half is the sound of the portal to hell opening. You know there's no rescue. You know there's nothing, no one that's going to come and save you. Everyone was drunk, half asleep. The boat just completely disintegrated in that storm. The next day I woke up on a piece of flotsam, just drifting. And not too long after that, I made landfall not very far from where we'd set off originally. I was the only one who survived that. And I couldn't figure out if I doomed everyone, or if we were all doomed, and for some odd reason, the Stormcrow had decided to save me for some purpose or other. That weight, carry that question, is worse than having an anchor around your neck. And I sat there for a good long while on that shore, looking at the debris of the boat, kind of hoping someone would come swimming in, but no one ever did. Then this old man came walking towards me, and he asked me what had happened, and I told him, and he said it was difficult to know the will of the gods because they're gods and we're not, but that I shouldn't underestimate the fact that I'm the one who prayed, and I'm the one who got out alive. And he gave me this. I'll pull out from under my tunic that piece of barnacle that I have that's engraved with the strange symbol. And since then, I've kind of felt like there must have been a reason or a purpose why this happened, but I mean, that's not something I kind of want to go around thinking lightly. So I think the fear of the sea took me, and that's why I came further inland. And so when I worry, when I want us to do the sensible thing or the safe thing or not take any risks, it's because of that. But I think maybe there was something the Stormcrow needed from me. Not because I'm important or good or anything, I don't know, but just something he needs me to do. And I think I've been getting further and further away from it. And I think the reason I keep falling down in battle and I keep coming back, oftentimes through his intervention, I think he's getting tired of doing that. And I think he's been trying to tell me that I need to get moving on doing whatever it is he needs me to do. And because he's the Stormcrow, whatever that is bound to be tied up to the sea. So I've been thinking a lot the past few days. I think we've accomplished a lot. We've done a lot of good things. There's a couple of weird things and some, debatable things, but I think it's time I stop being afraid of the sea and I return to it. And either the Stormcrow wants nothing to do with me and I'm making all of this up, in which case, it'll be what it'll be. But I think at this point, after the amount of times he's saved my life, he's saved your lives, I think I owe him to at least go down to the sea and see the shore again, see the horizon again, and see the vast open sky upon it again, just to see if something crops up. And I think that now's the time to do that. I think we're safe now. We all have things you want to do. You certainly don't need me to do them. So I think I'm going to be going back to the sea just to see if there's something there that I need to be doing. That's what I wanted to tell you guys.
So you're leaving?
Yeah, I think so.
But you'll come back, right?
The currents take me back. You never know what lies ahead. It's the thing, you get on a boat and you set out to sea and you can check where if it's a rising tide or a lowering tide, you can check the moon, you can check the clouds, you can check the sky, you can check maritime charts, you can check all of that. But once you get on that boat, all of that's meaningless. All of that's meaningless. Whatever's going to happen is going to happen. But most of the time you get to come back. So yeah.
Well, I mean, if that's what you really want to do, I don't think we can stop you, but we will miss you.
I'll miss you too. I don't think I've ever actually had friends before. I sailed with pirates and cutthroats. You don't really make friends amongst those people.
You and Daz are my first friends that I've ever had.
Don't forget that bear that we met on the road.
He wasn't actually a friend. He's more like a short-term acquaintance. But then we ate.
He was barely there.
But, if you want to be a good friend, I hear that you have to let people go when they want to go. And let them make their own way.
Are you sure you have to go to figure these things out?
There's a storm I keep seeing. And it's always just yonder over the horizon. That's how Stormcrow speaks to people is through storms. And if I'm seeing it in the distance, it means that that's where I have to go. And I think I've run away from it long enough. I've been changing ever since we fought those fire things and I lost control and I let rage flow through me. I've become reckless and dangerous. I was almost going to get us into a fight that would potentially going to get us killed for zero reason in that cave with the drow. And I don't like that. There's something that's escaping me now, something that I used to have that would allow me to keep control. And I think I need to face that fear and find a way to regain control, because I understand Norb now. You know, like how we used to poke fun at Norb, but I understand him now, because once you're in the grip of a rage, it's very scary because you don't care. You don't care what happens to you. You don't care what happens to other people. You just want to tear things apart. And I've never been that way. So it's never been me. And now I'm finding that I crave that. And I don't want to crave that. So I need to find, like Norb, a way to get that under control. If Norb, in his life and death, has taught me anything, was that just because you can rage at something doesn't mean you have to. Anyways, leave word for me wherever you go, and I'll do the same. And if, I finish my business or the current takes us back towards each other again, I'm sure we'll get to adventure some more and lose some tents together.
You are offering those tents to the Stormcrow this whole time. I know it.
Hey, you know what appeases a god?
Sacrifices. Is that the way you're trying to make me sleep in that tent?
I would never do such a thing.
This little sacrificial burrito.
Lachlan, this is gonna be a weird ask, but I know you bought a couple of shirts. I've seen you fold them. Can I have one?
Shirt?
One of your shirts.
Are you like
Sure.
a dirty one? Are you asking for like?
Well, it can be whatever.
Like the one he
Yeah.
tore off?
Sure. I think I still have the one I tore off last time we got into a fight.
I'd like that one.
You can have that one.
It's got a lot of musk to it.
A bit of blood, some ichor. Yeah, you can have that. And yeah, absolutely. It's totally a weird ask, but it's you, Nori. If it wasn't weird, I would think you'd been kidnapped and replaced by a changeling.
But I have one more thing to ask.
Is it going to be weirder than the last ask?
Maybe, yeah.
No, well, shoot.
Can I just have one thing to remember you by?
Well, I think I need to wait outside.
Jeez, is it that late already? I mean,
All right.
I don't-
I think we heard like an owl.
I don't.
Not
I
this.
have something I.
Just one. It's a parting gift.
Do you have anything specific in mind?
No tongue.
Oh, sure. Why not? In front of everybody else, or?
Oh no, Des and Xanthi have like walked outside. We're like standing in the doorway, awkward.
I'll give Nori an old sailor special. The tent is a rockin'. Don't come a knockin'.
Nori, roll a con save.
For
A
Brash?
one. It's a one.
Oh, natural one.
Natural one. Oh, you're
That's
sweet.
then-
my dice. That's my
and then-
dice.
after I leave you a bar of soap.
All right.
Sniff
then.
it like a weirdo and put it in my bag.
I think I'll corner Des also at some point, just briefly, if that's cool.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, maybe like early the next morning or something. Hey, I appreciate what you were saying last night about, you know, trying to convince me to say, like, it meant a lot to me that you wanted that, and I appreciate that. I can't do that, but I did want to ask you a favor. That'd be all right.
Yeah, just what is it?
I'm a little bit afraid because I find that, especially Nori, but Xanthi and you also, oftentimes like to take risks that are maybe not necessary. And I understand that being an adventurer is a dangerous proposition, and risks are part of the deal. But I think that there's two kinds of risks. There's stupid risks, and then there's manageable risks. And I find that very often, especially with Nori, but, you know, also the two, you kind of veer towards the unmanageable risk a little bit. But the favor I would like to ask is just for my own mental well-being and ease of mind to maybe find a way to try and help curb that tendency a little bit. I don't know what you think you might be willing to do or want to do or able to do, but like it just to ease my fear.
Absolutely. I mean, I know that at times I've been a little bit throwing some caution to the wind, for sure. But, you know, I felt pretty confident in my friends at the time, you know. But, you know, if you need to leave, we will need to be more cautious. You've been a trusted companion to us, and I thank you for that.
Been a strange trip, and what happened to Norb really shook me, and it was hard after that to face the idea, and especially Xanthi, like what we heard, that there are people that might be hunting her just because of who she is and so on and so forth. And with the nebulous past and all that, like, I'm kind of afraid that, you know, that's something that might rear its head at some point. Now that you've set up a mail system, I'll try my best to keep you appraised of where I am. And if ever you run into some kind of trouble like that from Xanthi's past or something that's coming that's, you know, maybe a little bit more threatening than it needs to be, you can always try to reach out to me, and if I can, I'll come back.
Well, keep an ear out for a ghost service.
Ghost service.
Yeah.
That's
That'll be
a good idea.
The key word.
Okay.
Because the idea is for it to be reliable, confidential, not
everything that we're not. I get
not under the control of any particular government.
Government. All right. I did want to say that, you know, sometimes discretion is the better part of valor, and to kind of help you remember that, I thought maybe you could use this and I'll give you the boots
The boots.
that I've had for some time. You might need to clean them up a little bit. I checked them. There's no leeches in them. That was a
You sure
problem
about
for a
that?
while. That was a problem for a while. I don't know how many I pulled. There was like 10. There was like a colony.
So they don't keep water out.
Maybe get a cobbler and, or get Xanthi to do something to it. But I know you're running for some stuff, and I know there's a bit of larceny in your soul, but I also know there's an extremely reliable and well-meaning person in there, and I absolutely think that, if anyone can keep this group somewhat out of trouble, that'll be you. And I give you a bar of soap. Xanthi, you'll find a bar of soap wrapped up outside of your tent. I know you don't sleep in the tent.
Next to the tree that I'm sleeping
Next
by.
to the
So I
tree.
suspiciously watch the tents.
There'll be just a little bar of soap hanging from a little rope. And yeah,
It's cursed.
it's cursed.
Soap on a rope. First soap on a rope.
So as Lachlan says his goodbyes, as he embarks on the next phase of his personal journey, a slight rain begins to fall in the gnarly forest, with the low rumble of thunder in the distance to the south. Fitting, you might think, for one who communicates or draws upon the power of the Stormcrow. Hugs are given and tears perhaps shed as Lachlan hoists his pack on his shoulders and begins to walk the long walk. And that, my friends, is where we will end tonight's episode of Heroes of Greyhawk. Moving on to the next chapter of a grand adventure. All of us. Thank you, everyone, for hanging out with us on this very heartfelt and sincere episode as we say goodbye to not only Lachlan, but also bid Christian farewell from the Heroes of Greyhawk game for the time being. There's we don't know what the future holds for any of us, but yeah, beautiful way to make your exit stage left. So thank you for that. That was great, you guys. Really awesome role play, and it was nice to be able to bring back, or bring into play some of that backstory that you put together for Lachlan, which is fantastic. So thank you for that, Bleak, and everybody for doing that. And wow, got some. I'm welling up with a few tears here.
The fumes from the soap.
Yeah, that's right.
So strong.
It really is.
Irish Spring.
Dwarf spring.
How do they make it smell like that?
Oh, my goodness.
My eyes
All
are
right. Well,
watering.
yeah. Thank you, everybody, for hanging out with us this evening. It was a wonderful session. Thank you, Scottish Jeff. Well said. Just a great adventure. It's hard to imagine that we've had 45 or 46 game sessions with this group. Fantastic group. And we will continue the adventure next week. And as you can imagine, things will change a little bit, but the adventure continues. There's still things to do. There's a druid to visit. So we'll find out what happens next week. In the meantime, we do have a giveaway going on this during the session. So you still have a little bit of time to get in on that action. We're going to be giving away CZRPG's Amazing Encounters and Places bundle, which is a combination of the adventures and the maps that go together for this. This is in support and in promotion of their current Kickstarter, which is live right now. Please go check it out. If you can help to support CZRPG, we hope that you will. They've done a fantastic job of standing, shoulder to shoulder with us over the last 3 years so that we can provide fun, free content to our the folks that hang out with us, our chat buddies. So go check that out. We really appreciate it. If you want to get in on the giveaway, please do so. We're gonna raid into a friend here after we do some outros. So there's still time to get in on the giveaway. Just ! Trying to get in on that. Let's go around the table. Tell people, remind people who you are, where they can find you. And if you've got anything that you want to plug, please do so. Let's go ahead and start with Andy G3D.
Hey, what's up, everybody? My name is Andy, also known as Andy G3D here on Twitch. You can find me here every Tuesday night playing Desmond Adelar in our Heroes of Greyhawk game and occasionally helping produce different games here on the Guild. So come check us out. If you haven't done so already, come check us out on our Discord. We all hang out there all the time. It's a lot of fun.
Thanks, Andy. Appreciate it.
And the memes are just getting weirder.
Today was particularly weird.
Yeah,
You started it.
I did.
some
I did.
great weirdness going on.
Trying to bring the weird back.
The year of the great weird.
The weird and the sexy. Speaking of sexy, let's jump over to Shelly.
Hello. I'm Shelly. You can find me on the Discord at Flea Monkey or Hey, it's Flea Monkey on Threads and Blue Sky. You can also find me on Wednesdays over at Tithalanos' channel doing a little clerical goblin action in Pathfinder 2E. And
Like an
back here next
accountant
Tuesday.
or something? Like, is it accounting clerical or?
Yeah, that's totally what it is.
Nice.
100%.
Love it.
Also, I heal people.
A murderous accountant. I know a couple of them.
Roll for
Yeah.
deductions.
It's so soothing.
Exactly. Save versus IRS audit. Speaking of getting audited, let's jump over to Ashley.
Oh God, what?
Oh, you haven't heard?
Don't bring that juju on me. Hey everybody, I'm Ashley. You may know me as Minnesota Muse on our Discord or Minnesota Muse on Blue Sky. You can also find me at Minnesota Muse 99 on Threads. And you can find me here on Tuesdays. That's all I'm doing right now. If you want to play with me, invite me because I'm doing nothing. Yeah, so that's it.
Ashley's on the market, is what she's saying. So
I got time.
hit her
Have
up.
dice will travel.
Exactly.
Dice will travel.
If you have a chance to play with Ashley, you should take it because she's fantastic and I appreciate you. And let's jump over to Bleak Season, buddy. We're gonna miss you, but so glad that you were here for all the moments that you were. Tell us whatever you want.
Bacon.
Oh no.
It's
Canadian
been
or otherwise.
a fantastic time. Like I was just saying in chat, it's my longest running character ever. The longest campaign I've been a player in, I think, the entire time that I've ever been playing TTRPGs, which since like I was 16 or 17 years old. So there's a lot of baggage, a lot of weight to this character and to this campaign and everything that I take with me. The amount of laughter we have before the games and after and in the scene, like that to me is what's made this game so much fun with everybody. I mean, it's not like I'm fucking going off to Abu Dhabi. Like, I'm just, we'll be doing some other stuff together. Andy and I are plotting a Christmas game coming up soon and stuff like that. So there's still tons of other stuff, but I will definitely miss being one of the heroes of Greyhawk, but I will now be one of the hooligans of Greyhawk in the chat, egging you on, and I'll be able to finally spend all these channel points and these things that I've been amassing
Right.
to give you guys advantages. So it's been a lot of fun. You're all absolutely wonderful people and performers, and it's been a lot of fun. So thank you so much. And Lachlan's not dead, so who knows?
That's right.
Who knows?
Bleak, you are always welcome to reprise Lachlan or any other role in our Heroes of Greyhawk. You're always welcome at this table, as
I
you
could
know.
be Xanthi?
You can be Xanthi's sister.
Oh.
You can also be Toblob.
Toblob.
Oh, Toblob!
You
That's
can
a
be
great
Toblob.
character.
Toblob.
Toblob!
Hiding in a bush
Toblob?
somewhere.
Yep. Eating
I
pocket bacon.
think this is what I think.
Let's hear it.
I think that Nori is really Toblob using a ring of disguise or something.
You don't know.
Yeah, you don't
Yeah,
know.
you don't know.
All I know is I just like, spend some quality time with you. And so, if you are a goblin, I wish you'd tell me. Because I'm not opposed to it. I just would like to know.
Well, now we can talk about it once we get offline here. We can talk all about the big deception that's been going on.
Yep.
Yeah, Scottish says,
Capital
I'll play the
D.
cursed doll. I'll play the doll.
The cursed doll, yeah.
There we go.
Daddy?
The cursed doll needs a name for sure.
Daddy.
Yep.
Cassandra.
Cassandra.
God.
Oh yeah, from the creepy ghost place.
Mm-hmm.
That
That's
we
a good
never
one.
investigated.
Yeah, that's right.
Yep.
Yeah,
We're not too far away from that place.
I owe Nori
We're
a haunted
not.
tower.
And
Yeah,
I'm
you
not
do.
here now. You can go wherever you want.
Now we
Get
can
whatever
party.
trouble
That would be
you
a
want.
great idea. Haunted
The
tower.
campaign is going to end in like 3 episodes now. It's gonna
We
be
don't have a
like,
cleric.
bing,
Let's
bing,
go where the
bong.
ghosts
gonna
are.
die.
Nori's
Yeah,
like,
we're
now
all
that
gonna die.
Lachlan's gone, I got all these places I'd like to
Yeah.
go back to.
Okay, here we go.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I can't wait to see where this goes next. So thank you again, Bleak. Fantastic having you in this campaign. I'm so glad that this worked out and we had a good send off scene that was brilliant. All of you did awesome, and I was very emotional. So thank you for that. I love that kind of role play. You guys, let's give away some loot here. It looks like we've got some folks that are in the giveaway, and so. Ashley, if you wouldn't mind, I know it's been a long time since we've done this, but do you remember how to?
I count.
Yeah,
Counting.
I don't remember how much do we count? Is it 3 seconds?
I think it's 10.
No, it's 5.
5?
Is it 10?
20.
It's 20
Start at
seconds.
5 and then go
Yeah.
to
It's
4.
that inflation
pretty
again. It's countdown
Pretty
inflation.
sure I remember only using one hand.
All right, let's do 5 just to
That's
keep
what
it
she said.
consistent. Oh my God, nipples. Okay, go ahead, Ash.
All right, everybody. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and go.
Baptized has won the
Yay,
giveaway.
baptized.
Way to go, baptized. Are you here, baptized? Are you here? You do have to be here to win. Baptized.
Are you here?
Baptized. Someone ping baptized here. I guess I can do that. Someone being me. Congratulations, baptized. Are you here? Let's give baptized just a second to let us know if they're here as I start to.
Dan Dittmer, paging Dan Dittmer.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't see him in the list of viewers, but I
Okay.
don't know how accurate
Well,
that is.
we can do another one. There's nothing stopping us from redrawing. Let's do it. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lee is the winner. Lee,
Yay.
Nightbot likes Lee.
you
Great.
liked out Lee. Yeah, Lee has been winning some
There we
loot. So
go.
congratulations, Lee. I will connect with you after the stream to make sure you get that awesome content from CZRPG. You guys, if you're into it and you want to support an awesome independent creator, go check out that Kickstarter. It looks really awesome, and they're great people. So you'll feel good about supporting what they do. We are going to raid into our friends over at Dork Tales. Let's give them some good old-fashioned Guild Superior love and let them know that we appreciate them too. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. Our chat buddies are the best. We really, really enjoy having you around and just being part of the game and hanging out with us. So if you aren't currently following the channel, please do. And if you're following and you have the ability to do so, please consider a subscription. And otherwise, just hang out and get goofy with us because we love you. All right, we were gonna get this raid going, and I think we have a little bit of a debrief to talk about and wipe away some tears, my friends.
I gotta blow my nose hardcore.
Yeah, you do. You definitely do. Go blow
Oh
that
no,
nose.
I gave you my sneezing.
Love you guys.
Yeah,
Take
that's it.
care. Thank you so much. Bye.
Ciao.